Magnus and Prague, main most important chess event of the day. And the FIDE World Cup final happening right now. So let's see what these guys are playing. But by the looks of it, the engine thinks it's an absolute draw. If that 0.01 means anything, probably means nothing. Because there is no weakness. Perfect material here. What do they play? 4 nights game, Spanish variation. Okay. Nothing had happened. 19 moves. And they've got a ton of time available. A lot of time available. So could be another draw. Hello, Step. Can you believe this guy's level of accuracy? I mean, they just playing like the machines they are in their best days, and there's no way to actually make it different now. I mean, there's no weakness. If I am to just say something, I don't even know where to look at because I don't know what to attack. I don't know exactly what am I to attack here. They just everything is immobile. Everything's in a standstill. Of course, it's going to end in another draw. I think so, Step. I think you are correct about this. I don't know what to attack, really. I don't know what to look. I mean, who's Magnus? Can you do this kind of shenanigans like Bishop C7? Just saying. Can you do something like Bishop C7? And then probably they'd be going C8, right? Or do they just play Rook D7? Or are you actually helping black? You helping black here? What do you think? You think we doing a good stuff for this kind of move? Bishop C7. Hello, Clint. Okay, King F8. So they want to go. They want to get the king closer. I mean, look at the both kings, white and black king. You know, trying to get closer. H4, of course. H4. I would say H4, A4. You name it. A little bit of harassing could be happening like this. A little bit similar to Bishop C7, perhaps. That is the question indeed. Chando, welcome, bud. Yeah. F3, F3. Giving black all the dark squares. Well, at this stage now, of course, yeah, we're all excited, Chanda. We're all excited to see what's going to happen here. Now, really, what's this thing? You want to play bishop to e4 or something? Then trade. I mean, if there more trading happening, if there's more trading, probably going to be a draw. But I'm going to tell you something. I think it's very instructive, this game, from the point of view that you're actually going to see and watch what's supposed to be played in, at every step in this game. Because if you don't play this accurately, you're probably going to lose. So these guys will be giving an example. Yeah, bishop b4, exactly. That made sense. And I call this move bishop b4 because it just attacks the rook. And now you need this side if you want to play this and this. Rook e2, rook d2, making a battery. What else can you play, really? What else can you play? Don't tell me you're going to do rook e4. Don't tell me you're going to play rook e4. It can't be because of this. No, you're dropping the bishop. So rook e4, they have to do something with this guy. Maybe this. No, I don't want to get the rook. Gonna probably just e2 and then d2 if that's the case. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would imagine for his connationals, Chando, I would imagine this is a national event in India. And I think it should be indeed. It's a national event and Prague is a national hero. So yeah, you guys would be absolutely thrilled. I'm pretty sure about this, and rightfully so. And rightfully so. Of course you would. Of course you would. Oops. Yeah. So tell me something about the rook on e1, people. How do you see this rook moving now? Or you're gonna play bishop d2? Just asking. Hi there, Prashant. Thanks for stopping by, brother. So is it bishop d2? Is it rook e2? What is white supposed to be playing? The quality of rook e2 would be if you, at some point, willing to make a battery, but how? The guy is still here taking all the dark squares, so bishop d2, you reckon? Bishop d2, bishop takes, and then that's what it is. Then double rook on the d file. Probably bishop d2, and you give up all these dark squares, because this is a harassment move. You have to do something. I didn't even think about rook e3, really. I mean, you can't do rook e3, can you? It just doesn't make any sense. Bishop d2 makes sense. And if it's a trade, it's a trade. I mean, you can't stop it. There's no weaknesses. The engine confirms there is absolutely no big weakness, no nothing. It's just some pieces, activity, and there's just nothing. Go for. Unless someone makes a blunder. Someone makes a blunder, yeah. Well, we're going to see that. So, guys, shall we have a very quick, brief look at Fabi and Abasov? And then we'll see what Magnus decides to play. I would say bishop d2, but before we leave, let's inquire with a Stockfish and see what the Stockfish actually recommends here. I really want to know if the engine goes for bishop d2 or rook e2. Probably bishop d2 I would recommend here. Rook e4, yes, Prashant, I thought about that move previously. Even, I mean, before you came into the stream, I proposed rook e4 as a candidate move, but I don't particularly, maybe because of c5 idea. And then maybe this. I'm normally I don't want to do this kind of stuff, rook e4. It just feels very weird. And practically I want to maybe double up the rooks, trade the rooks or something. Rook e4. I'm really not sure about this one. Probably rook, bishop d2, I would say. But anyway, he played rook e4. He played rook e4. I mentioned rook e4, but I don't like it particularly. Let's just go back as the engine. I really want to see. Rook e2. We said that. Rook e4. We said that too. Rook e5. I think it's just a step too far. Rook e5. Rook e5 would be fine, but I don't know why. I just got a feeling that something's incredibly weird to play rook e5. I just can't do that. I just can't do that. So, okay, let's go. It could be Sadvik. By the looks of it, it might be another draw. Let's see what Fabi does, though. Let's visit Fabi and Abasov. Now, Fabi's got a crushing advantage here. Now, if Fabi wins today, we are going to witness tomorrow the tie breaks, folks, because that will be 1-1. That will be if Fabi capitalizes. Now, it's not quite over yet. It's plus 1.62, which is a lot of advantage for White. Don't get me wrong. That's cool. But you still need to play something here. It's not over yet. Let's just see. 3 minor pieces and rook. 2 minor pieces and 2 rooks. Look, this knights and the bishop will do a little bit of headache for White here. I mean, you know, they're just dangerous pieces. Let me just give you just a flavor. I know it's Fabi's turn, so I know it's Fabi's turn, but I would just invite you to just look at this kind of ideas. And you already see, I mean, just in 1-2 moves, and White needs to counteract all those knights' behavior. So you got to be careful about this stuff. I reckon Fabi probably will take on d5, because it's a weakness after all, right? Let me see. Or you just want to move the knight, and then escaping via b5. You don't want to drop your pieces, right? But given the fact that the bishop can only play on d7, you might be able to play knight c7 later on, right? I mean, you're going to play the knight when they move the bishop, so to speak. But if I take here, actually they take and I open up the bishop for black. I'm not sure, actually. I might be looking at knight c7 after all. Let's do knight c7, maybe knight b5, trading. But at the same time, you're going to drop this guy? Hard to say. You're going to push? That might be another idea. Bishop c5, but that's an encouragement. Because we just mentioned. And knight on e4 does create a little bit of threats. Well, I would imagine, Prashant, I would imagine if you are tired, you're not going to play your best chess for sure. Absolutely. So that's a serious thing. So let's just look CD, ED. knight c7. I think so. Yeah, probably. When you do cd and ed and knight c7, black's probably going to be responding with knight e4. You are winning, but it's not quite over. Yeah, you should be winning with white, but after knight e4, after knight lands on e4, we're looking at c3, we're looking at f2. You have to deal with that. Knight c7 is nothing wrong with knight c7. Don't get me wrong, Prashant. I think knight c7 is very reasonable. I don't see anything wrong with knight c7. But maybe I don't want to drop this guy. I'm just thinking, should I do c5, cd, knight c7? I mean, it's okay, knight c7. I think it should be okay. After you do knight c7, and, well, they can't really take, but they can take with the knight like this. Yeah, there is also knight e4. Well, if it's this, it's more trading. Knight takes c4, bishop takes. I think it's good then for Fabi. Knight e4 would be, though, something. Yeah. cd, I think it's fine. Knight c7, it's fine. Which one is stronger, though? Which one do you think, guys? Which one is stronger? Prashant suggests knight c7. I think it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense, of course. You get a piece back. You get a piece back in action, moving away from the rook's attack. Yeah, I guess it's very playable. I guess there is no point to think about playing bishop d3 kind of idea. It's just not good, eh? Bishop d3. Just cut off any. Probably not that strong. Actually, it's bad. You're getting the bishop in front of the rook. That's actually bad. cd again, I like it. It's good. It's good to take stuff if you can, when you can. It's good, and it's a sort of forcing move. It attacks the knight on c6. Take on d5, they have to react to this move because you're going to take a knight. So probably they'll have to take back, and then you take back with the rook, hitting the knight. What's not to like about it, Step? So practically we got two candidate moves, right, folks? We got cd, which he just played it. cd. But he did give it a thought, though. He did think. He did think for a while. So that means that he was considering some other lines. Amongst them, probably knight c7. So cd. Now black must take, and now probably you just take straight away, threatening the knight on d6. Red knight on d6, and again they have to react to that move. And I think they'll be playing knight e4 if you take on e4. Or maybe you want to do something else, though. Maybe now you want to play knight c7. This guy's going to fall anyway. Yeah, I think I like knight c7 a bit more. Do you know why? I would like Prague move his rook forward to attack the bishop. Yeah, we're going to look at Magnus and Prague in a sec. I like knight c7 because the pawn on d5 is going to be taken anyway. So we are going to take that black pawn on d5 for sure. So why not knight c7? Knight c7. I like it. I think it's good. What does the engine say? And then we're going to go and see what Prague did and Magnus. f3. And knight c7. And knight c7, which is more like a human move. This one is more prophylactic. You just try and take the e4 so that the black knight doesn't come here. But I'm going to tell you something. After knight c7, black is going to play knight e4. And that's something. As we said, knight on e4 attacks c3 and f2. So you need to think about that one. Almost, Prashant. Yes. Now let's go on Prague and Magnus stuff. Let's go and see Magnus and Prague. The engine gives the verdict a very, very minus 0.01, which means practically nothing. What just happened here? Rook de1. So he doubled the rooks, as we said. You want to double the rooks. There's no bishop now to b4 because rook is just right here. If they push this, obviously this guy's going to drop, so they can't be played. And yeah, the ball is in Prague's court now. What is he going to play? What is he going to play? Well, they could do a couple of things. Can he just simplify stuff? What do you think? Nah, he can't do this one because it's losing a piece. If bishop f5, rook takes, and this guy is just hanging. Bishop now to d5. Pieces are coming off the board. Guys, we are going to see a draw with Magnus and Prague. And you've got it, folks. Tomorrow we're going to see the tie breaks. Definitely tomorrow tie breaks. That's going to be another draw. It just, I don't know what might happen here. I don't see anything in particular that might be happening for this one now. Absolutely. Rooks are coming off the board, right? Why would you keep them? Bishop f5. There is no weakness here. I mean, you can't do nothing. Bishop f5 in order to create a little bit of harassment on the black rook with bishop d7, perhaps. Do you know what that would mean? Rook takes and king takes, and I think Magnus wants to play bishop c8 and hit this guy on b7. That's what he want to do, I guess. Then he wants to go, so to speak, with the other bishop, maybe. I'm pretty sure to every move you play, there is a very equally strong answer. So these are ideas. I think they're not bad, but there's always something to play against to counteract white's intention. Probably bishop c8, right? Probably bishop c8. And because you don't want to lose the b7, they're going to be pushing forwards. Well, you don't want to drop this guy, right? So that's the only thing that actually attacks something. Bishop c8 at least attacks something. You have to also moving the king, not a bad idea. Moving the king up can't be a bad thing. So what did they play? He played king e1 exactly. Well, he wants to come where? To d2 or something? King e7, c4, hitting the bishop, bishop e6. Takes and takes. Yeah, he's going to take with the king, not with the pawn, because if you take with the pawn, you're going to have an isolated pawn. You can't do that. Hello, Anirudh. Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. That's a dead draw. I'll give you that. This is a draw. I agree with you, brother. This is a draw. Oh, let me just operate a little bit the texts here, guys, because you don't see the whole of the message. Let me just very, very briefly, let me address this issue here. You guys need to see the see Daisy. Just give me 2 sec. What's going on? Looks very okay. So you can't see that part of the message. Wait. Yeah, you can't see that thing. Oh, I thought that's been fixed yesterday. I don't know what. Yeah, those stuff just skips. Okay, I think I just leave it like this. Yeah, I'll just leave it like this for the time being. Yeah, I think it's in order. Yeah, you can see now the messages nicely and all. Back to the game. Oh, yeah, that's it. As I was fixing the messages, they decided to draw. There's nothing to go for. So whatever you play with black, whatever with white, with black, there is always a response. There's nothing happening here. You just play for the sake of it. Whatever you try to do, there'll be more trading. These guys are playing like machines, the endings. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Let's go to Fabi actually now. Draw. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to see tie breaks, though. Okay, so let's see how Fabi capitalizes on this one. I think that's more interesting, more exciting. Actually, let me give you a very honest thought. I think what Fabi and Abasov was more entertaining, more, I don't know, how do I put it? More sharp, more complex, more exciting than Prague and Magnus, because Prague and Magnus play incredibly accurately. If you put the engine to review their games, I think it's going to give you a 99. I think it's going to give you a 99 accuracy. A very much 99 accuracy. They really do it in an incredibly rigorous manner. As per this one here, folks, this is an entire different business. Hello, Pranav. Oh, yeah, they did, man. They did. So they did draw. But tomorrow, guess what? Tie breaks are going to be tie breaks. They drew because they played perfectly. You see, Pranav, they just played the perfect game. They just didn't create any weakness. There was no weakness nowhere. What do you want? It's what it is. When folks are equally strong, very often ends up in a draw. Very often. They are equally strong, so to speak. They proved it. Prague proved it. Prague proved his class, you see. Drew twice against Magnus with impeccable play. So what is to say here? The game will continue tomorrow. That will be very exciting to see. Tie breaks tomorrow. Absolutely. Like 25 and 10 minutes, two games, 25-10, then 10-10, then 2-5-3, then 3-2 until someone actually wins. Oh, we're gonna say I don't know, but that's definitely they're gonna want to win. Magnus wants to win. Prague obviously was probably a national hero in India, so that's huge achievement for the lad, the Indian grandmaster, super grandmaster, I'd say. So it is whose turn is it? Abasov's turn with black. Oh, hey guys, f3 played by Fabi. I guess you know why f3 because we gotta stop this guy. And Fabi said, look, I could take the d5 later. I could play knight c7 later. There is no problem now with bishop potentially doing this kind of things. You already played f3. There is no incoming knight, and you can play knight c7 and capture this pawn later. So Twitch Anirudh suggests bishop e6 makes sense because the rook attacks the knight and you defend the pawn. Makes a ton of sense. But after knight c7, white actually attacks d5 twice and it hits the bishop, but most importantly attacks this pawn. How do you defend it? I don't know if you really can. Unless you want to move the king right in the most unhappiest square ever, right in the middle of the board to protect this guy. I mean, do you really want to do that? Out of desperation, you may try practically anything, but yes, you are right, Twitch, Anirudh. Bishop e6, knight c7 makes a ton of sense. A ton of sense. Yeah, after knight c7, probably just to, you know, enjoy the nice weather and go for a walk. Maybe Abasov should just resign and come back tomorrow with tie breaks like the other two fellas, like Prague and Magnus. So, yeah, resign, come back. Everyone comes back tomorrow for the last push, so to speak. So, yeah. But you know something? Three minor pieces. Let me tell you something. I mean, in my view, three minor pieces. It's not completely done. There are two knights that might be playing, jumping around. So yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Two rooks, two minor pieces, definitely stronger. Definitely wins for white. Well, use your knights, use your bishop. You never know. A fork, always probably possible, but yeah. Bishop e6, what else can you do here? Knight e4. Can you jump? But that would be more trading, wouldn't it? b6. I mean, where do you go with the knight? You can't go anywhere. Can't move, can't go. You can't go here, you can't go here. Where do you go? And even if you go on a5, you can't go c4 because more trading. Probably that's the only way. Knight c4, bishop takes, and then knight takes, and then you're gonna have a knight ready to jump around a bit. Maybe. As soon as Fabi, I would say, yes, Prashant, king to e6 now. You want to play king to e6 now? I don't think so because knight e7 actually definitely wins a pawn with tempo because you have to move the king again then. So king to e6 maybe not now. Perhaps you wanted to say bishop e6, which makes sense. It does make sense. Bishop e6 indeed. I would say so, yes. I would say so. Bishop e6. Bishop e6, knight c7, knight f5. Yeah, why not? Yes, you're going to drop that pawn, but you're going to play knight here in order to play this kind of ideas. I would say why not? Okay, I mean, the only thing you can lose is the game, which is already sort of lost, Anirudh. So let's just put it this way. The game for black, the game for Abasov is already seriously tilting now. So, yeah, why the heck not? I think so. I think that's another idea, Anirudh. I think it's definitely worth. Bishop e6, knight c7, knight f5. Yeah. Yes. You never know. Maybe you can play a knight to e3, Sack the rook, hit the bishop, hit g2. Yeah, why not? Why not? It's already bad. So apart from the fact you can just resign right now, given the fact you got 1 hour, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Comes with check, that's true. And after knight takes d5, bishop takes, rook takes. And you might be able to play this anyway. So bishop e6, knight c7. Okay. Knight f5, knight takes check, bishop takes, rook takes, and then knight e3. Is that workable? I mean, in the current circumstance, I'm not saying it's solving anything because it doesn't. Black's still in a bad position. I'll give you that. Very difficult for black. But hey, again, you have nothing to lose. I mean, the game is already lost, right? Let's put it this way. It's already bad for black. So apart from just resigning, why not? No, there's no good move. Of course there's no good move, Prashant. It's over. Yeah, absolutely. It's done. It's just finished. If you play this accurately, yeah, the victory is all yours. I can't find anything for black here to play. There is no breaches in white's defenses. You can't infiltrate. You can't. What can you do this kind of craziness? Just but why? Ah, it's a disaster. Knight c7 attacks here, attacks the rook. This is all so bad. There's just nothing. I don't like it. For black now, it's over. Yeah. So again, probably bishop e6, knight c7, knight f5, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and knight e3. Let's ask the engine. You know something, guys? Let's just double check with the Stockfish, which, let's see what it suggests. What does the AI suggest for black to play? Bishop e6, Anirudh, bishop e6 is the second line of the AI. The first one, though, would be knight e7. With I didn't even consider that move because instinctively I don't want to withdraw my pieces. Knight e7, just make it clear for all our friends, knight e7 actually defends d5. That's what it does. And you can play the bishop later, given a chance. Rook d8, Prashant, rook d8 falls into knight c7 immediately. I just simply don't like rook d8 and then knight c7 hitting both rook and pawn. Feels weird. But knight e7 might allow black to continue a bit longer. Knight e7, you defend this guy here, and then you can play bishop e6. And then knight f5 and see what happens. If you're willing to continue to suffer a little bit, you know, maybe you might try this. You might try this. Knight e7. I didn't even consider that because rook d8, because I don't know. You just want to get the rook on an open file, for one. Secondly, you might preventing any bishop e2, but obviously white doesn't want to play bishop e2. Actually, white does want to play the bishop until this guy has been taken. I mean, you don't want to put the bishop in front of your rook, do you? So where do you get the question is, where do you get the bishop? And probably rook e8 would have that one. Rook d8. Okay, apologies. Rook d8. I thought you said rook e8. Rook d8. Diamond. Rook d8. What does it do, rook d8? No, I don't know what it does, rook d8. I don't know. Because knight c7 happens anyway, regardless. Nah. It is weird because black doesn't have options. But Anirudh mentioned, and I agree with him, it's bishop e6, knight c7, but then they continue with knight e7. That's one take we didn't consider. So bishop e6 makes sense, knight c7 and knight e7. Okay. You could also try knight e7 straight away if you don't want to have your bishop targeted with knight c7. So you may go knight e7 first. Knight e7, I said bishop e6. Oh, there are many things. I guess you could try very many ideas. So knight e7, knight c7. Okay. Bishop e6. Can you play knight b5 to try to challenge this pawn and this knight, and maybe you will elicit more tradings? Can you? I mean, it's important for white to take the things off the board now, so you can keep your full strength, your material advantage in action. So I would say a move like knight b5 would hit the pawn on a7, hitting the knight on d6. So they either give you a pawn or they do the trade. And if they do the trade, even better for white, I would say. There might be some other ideas as well. Yeah. There might be some other ideas. Amongst other, I mean, there are very many good ideas for white. You could always look at this. After knight c7, that is. You could always look at h4. Any, you know, and instead of wondering what to move the bishop, just go with the h and get things, you know, get them out. Trade stuff. Boop, take it away. Take the h file. That's not bad either. You see? So we might be looking at h4. I think it's good. Obviously, they h6 it's complete. Doesn't mean nothing. You're gonna take anyway. Okay, let's look at the sequence you had suggested. Knight f5 had been played. I think we said knight f5. It just started a bit earlier, that knight f5 thing. Looking at this. He's looking at this. That's what he want to do. So he posed a little problem here for white. I don't think it's insurmountable. I think it's very playable. Defendable by white. Can you now, if you play the bishop after knight e3, not just that hits the rook, but hits g2, and then you gotta play this kind of stuff. So if you do bishop b5, knight e3, rook d2, I mean, you want to keep g2, right? It complicates a bit, but I think you could. Then knight e7, maybe then he wants to do knight e7 or something. Or just takes. You gotta move the rook now. Okay, you're gonna move the rook. Where? Where do you move the rook? The rook here? Back? If they want to take the bishop, take it. If they want to go back, fine. I just took the d file. So, knight c7, knight. I wouldn't move the knight on a8 yet, although it's important to get the stuff back in action. Anirudh. Why not let black take the bishop? Yeah, let them take the bishop. That is true, Anirudh. That makes sense. Yeah, that's what I thought. Can we, guys? Can we just take on d5? Knight e3. I'm going to play rook e3, attacking the knight. If they want to take the bishop, you called it. Why not? Take the bishop. Doesn't do nothing anyway. So take a pawn, knight e3, rook d3, attacks the black knight. You want to go back? Fine. I've won a tempo to get the bishop somewhere, or to play the knight on c7. So there could be a couple of ideas we may want to exploit here. I think it's fine. I think so. I think so. So rook d5, people. I don't think knight c7 is bad per se after knight c7. Yeah, knight c7. That was a long overdue move, knight c7. What does step say? In the open, I'd prefer have a bishop. Yeah, I know. But you just, you do what you have now because you already have advantage. Just use the advantage. Because bishop e6 and you lose knight. Let me see. When? How? Bishop take what? 6. Okay, let me go back. So if this one plays here, because bishop e6 attacks with tempo and hits the knight with the rook. Yes, that is correct. That's correct. So that is why he played knight c7 after all. So you can take on d5 safely with the knight, and it won't matter if he plays then. Yes, and it's a long overdue move. Indeed. Correct. Correct. Knight c7 makes a lot of sense then. I guess if Abasov plays bishop e6, you want to take the bishop or you want to take the pawn? If you take the bishop, you're going to give black connected pawns on the 6th and 5th. If you take the pawn, you're sort of taking a pawn, but also you are enabling a quite annoying bishop. Do you know what's the thing with this interesting move? If this pawn moves away, takes or whatever, the knights can then exploit the squares. So Fabi has advantage, but with two knights, it's always difficult to play. I think it's difficult to play versus two black knights now. And mind you, guys, the bishop on f1 still hasn't been developed. No, that's fine, Anirudh. Just that's fine, dude. No worries. You can revisit stream later or see you tomorrow in the tie breaks. That's all right, dude. Thanks for stopping by anyway. Really appreciate it. So again, this is a little bit of removing the c3 pawn is important to allow the black knights to just play something like this. And if this guy goes on b4, also looks at a2. And as we said, guys, the bishop on c1 hasn't been developed yet. And this rook practically doesn't sort of exist. So let's look at pieces activity. I don't say white is not better, so don't misinterpret. I don't say white is not in advantage. Of course you are with white here. The problem is, when are you going to actually move the bishop? When are you going to get the rook and actually do something? Pieces activity. Practically black is playing with two knights versus a rook. Well, there is also a knight on c7. That is true. That is correct. There's a knight on c7 which might jump in with a check. It might. And I reckon if king goes, you might be having this. Just a random thought. Well, not that random thought, but I'm just saying I think it might be an idea as well. So do you do this? Well, what do you do if they play e5 though? Well, you just keep moving the knight like where? Here? You want to trade off things, right? Yeah, but that's also another idea. Tough one. If you capture this guy, they'll be taking probably with this knight or with this guy. All sorts of ideas. But definitely, sabotaging the pawn on c3 is a good stuff for black to play. So I think he was very inspired. Abasov was very inspired to play d4. That pawn was doomed anyway. Fabi would have taken that pawn. But now he gives the pawn for a price. He gives the d pawn, which, you know, were to be captured regardless. But he actually does obtain something else. The b4 square is a problem. It's a point of intrusion for black here. So that's an important pawn to disappear. Ooh. So it's not completely done yet. We're still looking at stuff. Let me tell you something. If it is step, if you played this in a bullet or blitz, I don't know if I'd put my money on white necessarily. Because in all the tacticalities, all the tactical approach here with two knights and a bishop, it's a nightmare. So those two knights are very difficult to deal with. Two knights are very difficult. So it's not that easy. You can't just say, oh, in a bullet game, I'd probably bet on black. Oh, yeah. Of course. If this was like 60 seconds, probably I would like to try with black some knights maneuvers here because it's just so many tacticalities here. We're looking at this. If this c3 takes, you could look at this. You could look at this. I mean, come on. There are so many forks in the air. There are so many forks in here. When you play the bishop, this guy's falling. There are all sorts of crazy stuff. So, yeah, good stuff for Fabi, though. Hello, Adrian. Good stuff for Fabi, though, is that he's got like 54 minutes. So he has the advantage. He's doing better, materially speaking. Now he needs to find the way to activate his pieces, namely the bishop and the rook, which don't really exist. Okay, let's put it bluntly. This bishop, at the minute, just has this diagonal, but the rook on h1 doesn't exist. Neither the black rook on h8. So they'll need to decide what to play with these pieces. Nevertheless, Fabi's turn. Okay, if I was white here, I would go on knight d5 for sure. If I had the bullet, for sure I would go knight d5. Blitz, I'm looking at d5, knight d5 because I can jump around. Maybe lure the black king to the middle of the board. You know what I mean? You play knight d5 because maybe the king is tempted to come forth. And when the king moves in the middle of the board, then you can attack the king with additional pieces. If this were to happen, probably you've got this, and then you've got this kind of ideas, so you never know. I was born in Romania. I'm residing in UK with ancestors from 6 European countries after my DNA test had arrived. Amongst them, Norway, France, so Germany, so I've got ancestors from all over Europe. So lure the black king towards the middle of the board. That's the thing. And you can do that step set very nicely with knight d5. You get the black king to move in closer. Let's ask the engine. I'm really curious. CD and bishop d3. I reckon knight d5 wouldn't be that bad, but the engine prefers to either get the stuff in action. Bishop d3 deals with the developing. So bishop d3 develops a bishop, hits something. Bishop d3, knight d3, rook d2. So you have to be prepared to play like this. Bishop d, knight, rook d2. I think I sort of mentioned this idea before black pawn had been pushed from d5 down to d4. So I think I mentioned this idea. Knight, bishop d3, knight e3, rook d2. Looking for this guy. You got your rook. The other rook should be able to step in. Okay. Or CD. CD is like a little bit of invitation. I don't know what to say about CD. I'm not particularly keen. Let me toggle off the lines. I'm not particularly keen to inviting the Black Knights to do their game here. Oh, yeah. Psychologically, that is why Fabi does spend some time here, because those knights are a little bit scary and they are very tactical. They're very jumpy, and you got to be incredibly careful about those knights. And you sort of like open up the king completely when you take. That is why, yes, you might be a bit reluctant to take. So probably bishop d3, something to do with the bishop. So, I mean, you need to get your guys in action anyway. You need to use the rook. You need to... If Fabi manages to get the bishop off the back rank and activate the rook, it's going to be way easier. Very easy for... I mean, much easier. A bit more, you know, a bit more present, a bit more using your resources, because white doesn't use all his resources. Bishop on f1, the rook on h1. He's not using them. He has to use them, and probably he's going to do it. So we're looking at these two pieces which do not exist. Let's put it this way: if they don't play, they don't exist. Even if you have them, even if you have them on paper, They don't exist. That makes sense as a human. You want to play the bishop. He wanted to develop the bishop. He wanted to attack something. Probably he wants to. Yeah, I mean bishop b5. Maybe you wanted to keep that square for the knight though. Anyway, he just played bishop to b5 after some consideration. Thanks, Adrian. If I'll ever consider that, I'll get in touch. Cheers. Thanks a lot, man. Cheers. No problem. Okay, so he developed something. Finally, he developed something. I guess the idea behind bishop b5 is to target e8 in case the rook were to be moving. Well, if you want to move your guy, then okay. Okay. Also, maybe he may want to just take this guy, but I'm not sure. I'm not that sure about this. I don't think you want to make this trade, do you? You don't want to make this trade. Bishop takes, pawn takes. In principle, I mean, oh, do you want to do this trade? Yeah. No, I'm not using Discord. Dude, just okay. That's all right. I'll get in touch myself. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, I've got this kind of messages every day, like from various. Yeah. Thank you, brother. Cheers, man. Okay. No, I don't want to trade, but probably the main reason Fabi played bishop b5 is that, amongst others, he wants to connect the rooks. Still this stuff here in the air, but probably rook d2, right? As we said. Knight e3, rook d2. Then if the pawn takes, though, if the pawn takes, what do you play? This? Oh no. I mean, this is something with the two black knights. Steph, did you notice? Did you notice it's actually, yeah, thanks for confirming. Rook d2, dc, knight d5, and I take the pawn, I guess. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, I like it. Actually, you get the knight in action in the middle of the board, recapturing your piece back. Yeah, I guess so. And the bishop on b5 will prevent the rook to playing on e8. That's another element. Probably that's what I considered. Because you want to move the knight, right? So the bishop sort of might be keeping an eye. Thus pinning this guy. So he tries to limit black's pieces activity. He tries to limit them. He tries to limit them. Tough one. It's a bit more tougher for Abasov, but you know what I noticed now, Step? Fabi's advantage was bigger. He had bigger advantage. One move ago, he had bigger advantage. Now he dropped substantially. And what we're looking at is actually two knights and the bishop, minor pieces. So Fabi needs to tread very carefully because this is just not over. So I don't think you should just resign with black here. I fully acknowledge that white is better. I acknowledge that, and it is, materially speaking, better. As soon as the other rook gets into play, it'll be more difficult. But try make use of your minor pieces. Two knights and a bishop, actually. If you activate those pieces, do some concerted actions, you never know. I know it's easier said than done, but we might be trying together to find some ways to deal with this. Yes. Let's see. Interesting. Very interesting. Abasov now. He could do many things. Can he play 93 straight away? I mean, if you look at attacking moves, 93 actually attacks something. You can't play the bishop just yet. It just feels awkward. You may want to get the bishop here, but in order to get the bishop on f5, you have to play the knight first e3. So probably Abasov wants to play knight e3, probably. That will force white to play rook d2. And then probably you can look at bishop f5. Probably. That's just an idea. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Do you think that might be worth it? Knight e3, rook d2, bishop f5. I think so, maybe. And then let me tell you another interesting idea. Then maybe rook to c8. Just saying, for black. Just say, I mean, just from Abasov's point of view. Just Abasov perspective. Do you think these ideas could be applicable straight away? And I think they can. Knight e3 attacks with tempo. You can't ignore knight e3. You can't ignore it. And knight e3 not just attacks the rook and g2, ladies and gents, but also stops knight d5 for the time being. I think I like this idea of knight e3 being played right now. Knight e3 hits the rook, hits g2, stops d5, then bishop f5, cutting through g6, b1, and then potentially rook h8 to c8, aligning the rook with the white king. And a very, very, very shaky pawn tension here. I think it's something you kind of have to look at. 1, 2, and then perhaps given a chance, rook c8. Where does the white knight go? Because the knight on e3 just took d5. You have to play very carefully. And yeah, we could check with the engine as well. So bishop b5, after all, wasn't the strongest thing. Knight e3 serves a lot of plans. Absolutely, Step. You put it correctly. Absolutely. Knight to e3 does very many things. What's not to like about knight? Is the most aggressive move. I don't think there is any other move that's most aggressive. You don't particularly want to take now the pawn because you just give the white rook tremendous power for now. So probably knight e3. The most aggressive move. The most aggressive, the most scary, forces white to play defensive. Because you got to defend these two guys anyway. So sort of forces white. If I say that, it does indeed. It's a forcing move. Because ladies and gents, the power of the four. Yes, he did play it, guys. He did play it. He did play it indeed. He did play it. Knight e3. Hello, Gene. Knight e3. Rook d2. Yeah, we know that. Rook d2. Protecting the rook, protecting g2. And then black might, I mean, look, sort of black can maintain the attack, the intensity of attacking. Because after rook d2 defending, at least you got just this. I mean, there are a couple of other things too. Bishop f5, it's the most enticing because you're thinking about rook c8. And this is a problem for white, I guess. That's really nice. It is indeed. Oh boy. Absolutely. Okay, let me check. Is this? Yeah, that's just fine. It's fine. Yeah, I'm okay for the time being. Thanks for stopping by. What do you think about this position? What do you think about knight e3? What do you think about white's responses, Gene? I don't think you want to take on c3, right? Step. We don't particularly want to take that pawn now. Because this pawn actually sort of defends the knight at the minute. So we want to keep this pawn there and just develop. I think this is the most active aggressive squares for black. Bishop f5. Really, it's something. It's a nice square for the bishop. You don't want to trade, so bishop e6 doesn't make a bit of a sense. So you're looking at bishop f5 and you're looking at rook c8. I think these are the best ideas. Oh, Gene, it's exactly the same set of questions. I got them from a previous guy. Look, if there is some graphic design appreciate, but not at the minute. Not at the minute. Yes. So bishop f5, rook c8 are the most attractive ideas. Yes, Step, they might be bots after all. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, yeah, some folks try to make a buck, but not at the minute now. I'm just happy with the current status quo in terms of graphics. I don't want to invest in graphics and stuff now. So yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so that's the best plan for black. Interestingly now, Step, when Fabi committed on bishop b5 to be played, he actually took from the white knight that very vital important square. Because tell me now, Step, where do you get the white knight to play? How? Well, I'm not talking how do you play the white knight now to play, because you got a problem with the rook and with the g2. So you got a problem with g2 and the rook. So you can't play the white knight. But even if you could, where do you get it? Because the b5 just took the square from you. And even if you trade, you still can't go b5. So that is why he lost the advantage. And from 1 plus something, he dropped the advantage now for white to 0.80. So bishop b5, after all, Step, was not a very good move to play. It's very hindered. This knight, yes, it was a strategical error. Yes, that is correct. I think it's got a question mark. I'm not sure it's a blunder. It could be a blunder, but I think it's a mistake, bishop b5, after all. Yes. It's blocking the knight's escaping route via b5, and practically you just keep that knight there. Because the knight on e3 does not allow the white knight to come back into the game. I like this. I think it's cool. Abasov tries to make the most out of it in current situation here. Again, having two knights and a bishop, probably shouldn't be resigning just yet. It's quite promising. I like the complications. After bishop f5, rook c8, I like the complications. I really do. It's just, yeah, just keep playing. I think it's good. By the way, I think it's quite scary, bishop f5, rook c8. What do you think, Step? Right? It's quite scary a bit. You start getting concerned. Hey, what do I do with the knight after rook c8? Heck, I'm on the same file with the rook. You start getting a little bit concerned, and you start going low on time potentially if the situation gets very complicated tactically, which is a lot of things. I think that just loses Step, because if you sack an exchange, the nightmare is not quite over because the other guy still has a knight. You could potentially, I guess, hey, if you want to sack, just go rook d4. But that's okay, maybe. No, I don't think that's good. I think rook d2 is doable, and you should do it straight away. I don't think I would sack an exchange. I don't think so. Nope. Rook d2, bishop f5, and now I'm trying to figure out what on earth is white supposed to be playing. Maybe bishop d3, after all, enabling knight b5 at some point. So rook d2, bishop f5, bishop d3, at least you try to, and if there is any rook c8, perhaps knight b5 can be played after all. If there is any a6, you might be playing this one. If knight takes, you're going to take with this. Well, no, because the bishop is here, right? But at least you just take this guy off immediately. So rook d2, bishop f5, and bishop d3. Is that playable? You reckon, Step? You guys? What do you think, people? What do you think, my chess friends? Is this an idea workable for white? I mean, for black, I think that's the only nice sequence here. what do you think about White's response in terms of bishop d3 after bishop f5? Look, I'm just taking into account the possibility that black might play bishop f5. I don't know what black's going to play after rook d2, but I'm looking at bishop f5 as the most strong move. I think this is black's strongest response. Now, guys, with your, if you will, we could just check with the engine. And we are going to see very likely a rook d2 being suggested now. And then I'm curious to see if the engine prefers for black bishop f5. And if it does so, I'm curious to see if bishop d3 is a proper response. It is annoying, yes. Yes, I didn't mention that one, but it is annoying as hell. Absolutely, yes. But I guess rook d2, dc, rook d3, but this guy's falling. Yeah, you're gonna take, indeed. Then bishop f5. It's not crystal clear because of the two knights and the bishop's presence. It's not very, very, very clear. Hello, Robert James Fisher. I guess Fisher is her idol. Nice, nice one. So rook d2, dc would probably make it more complicated. Do you know something, Step? After rook d2 and dc, yeah, I think you could do that. Because then the b4 becomes exploitable. I think it's a little bit annoying now. Just let me give you an idea. Just a wild setup. Imagine bishop f5, and imagine there is no pawn on c3, and then the other black knight comes down here. Your rook is on d2, fine. I mean, this is a little bit annoying. It's actually a matter for concern. If you don't neutralize the bishop on f5 when they arrive, you're gonna have a little bit of a annoying situation here. Oh, don't say that. Oh, please don't say that. Oh, don't say that. Rook dg1. No, I don't want to hear that. I'm gonna stop the stream and just go outside. No. No, if he does this, something is... No. Ah. Oh. Oof. Okay. Sigh of relief. Rook d2. Rook d2, ladies and gents. That was the case. Rook d2. Of course. No, you can't do rook dg1. That would be incredibly painful. I just would quit immediately. I can't do this. Rook d2. Of course, rook d2. Now, guys, you can throw your bets. I'm very curious, ladies and gents. What do you think? What is most disruptive move black can play here? You reckon dc? Bishop f5? I think they're very nice. dc is definitely disruptive. And not just disruptive, but enables the other black knight to play on b4. So, guys, this is something. So DC is definitely a distracting idea. Now, if you're coming down with this kind of stuff, I'm not quite sure. Just king goes to g7, and it's a bit safe for the time being. A bit safe. But then here will be taken. Okay, we're gonna see. Again, guys, let me know. What do you think is the most disruptive move black can play here? If you were Abasov, how would you play? Or if you're yourselves in this position, let's put it this way. Maybe you don't want to be Abasov. It's fine. What I wanted to say, if you had this position yourselves, what do you think black would play for the most disruptive consequence here? What would scare white in this position? dc, bishop f5? Is there anything else? I think this one comes with the tempo. I think dc comes with the tempo because the rook is being hit. You have to respond to this first, and you have to take some time, actually. You're going to go 6th rank with check. You're going to do something else. What are you going to do? It's not really to be neglected. This is serious. dc3, you got to take this seriously. If you're responding rook d3, you could look definitely at knight g2. And then, you know what? The knight will be going very nicely on f4. And then he'll be looking at this kind of ideas. You got to be very careful. dc is actually the most annoying psychologically move black can play, in my human understanding. I don't know if that resonates with you guys, but DC is that thing that would annoy me if I had whites, and I think would annoy Fabi as well. Fabi wants to have things under control. Fabi wants to get this, to just hit the knight and things like this. But you can't play rook h2 e1 if black plays dc. So you could try it. Again, a couple of very nice consequences. This guy can come down then. And this bishop can play f5 and the rook here. And man, this is something cool. This is interesting. This is definitely something. And it's not over. What is this bishop d7 doing? I'm a little bit disappointed, but it doesn't matter. Bishop d7. Okay, we're going to have to ask the engine. Bishop d7. I mean, amongst all the scary stuff that might have happened, Abasov plays bishop d7. Nothing else but bishop d7. Okay, it's got some virtues, but why not bishop f5? Why not bishop f5? Is it that bad, bishop f5? I don't know. Let's ask the engine because I'm not very clear. Bishop d7, first line of the engine. Bishop f5, second line of the engine. dc, it's not even mentioned. But chess is highly psychological. I guess at some point, even if you play a move which is not objectively the most accurate move ever, if it makes your opponent overly concerned, preoccupied, and if you make them fear some potential nasty consequences, I think you should go for it. I guess DC would be a psychological move. Probably not the most accurate, because that would enable the rook practically to come with tempo and gain another pawn here. So probably that's the reason he didn't go for DC. Thank you, Step, for confirming. I think these were quite psychological choices. DC is the most psychological take ever for black. It's very psychological on here. I think Fabi would have spent maybe 10 more minutes after this. I think. So, currently now, we are looking at plus 0.96. DC probably would be deemed as an error, as a mistake. Let's see how bad it gets. It gets quite bad because rook e2. Rook d6 indeed is an option. We did say that. Yeah, the engine considers that actually it starts losing stuff. And yeah, not the most accurate ever. Okay. But bishop f5 is the second line of the engine. We did say that. I like it for very many reasons that I've highlighted already. But yes, bishop d7 is indeed the most accurate option in this position now. So at some point, there is the question, what do you play when the position is already slightly pessimistic? You playing the most complicated tactical lines, or you go try and pursue the most objectively accurate move? Because if you were for the most objective accurate, you shouldn't have gotten in this mess in the first place. Anyway. Yeah, it's just that kind of stuff. Bishop d7. Okay, bishop d7, amongst others, says, if you take my guy, I'm going to take with the bishop, and I'm having this. So that's the first idea that I'm looking at. Bishop d7. You take my knight, I'm going to take your bishop with my bishop. That's one. Second, it does allow rook from h8 over to c8, potentially. That might be another one. Any other stuff here? I don't think it's I don't think it's a huge range of options for black. I think they would just have to respond. He will just have to respond to, punctually to whatever problem Fabi creates. Anyway, Fabi still needs to figure out what to do with this and what to do with the rook on h1. Where do you go with the rook, by the way? In the light of bishop takes and bishop takes, you still have to move this guy somewhere. And this guy has to disappear as well. Would you trade on c6? I'm not sure I would trade on c6, given this position here. No, I'm not so convinced I would trade on c6. Probably I wouldn't. Probably I wouldn't. Yep. Stuff. Oh. It's Abasov's turn, by the way, right? Because, sorry guys, they played a couple of moves. Rook e1, therefore, no, they cannot. Oh my god, this guy's hanging completely. Rook c8, we said rook c8. We did say rook c8. Oh, he took the knight. Oh yeah, because he takes a knight and a bishop. That's a nice little one. That's a nice one. Rook takes, pawn takes, and then we're gonna grab the bishop. Nice. Ooh, and also he gives the knight. Took. Okay. If pieces come off the board so quickly that it's only helpful for white. And I guess Fabi just wants to simplify, clarify, make it easier for him to capitalize on. Wants to actually take the pieces off the board and get a clearer picture, an easier way to finish off this thing. And that would be, obviously, tie breaks tomorrow. If Fabi wins, you're going to see tie breaks tomorrow. Absolutely tie breaks, yes. Well, what can you do with white here? Can you do, sorry, what can you do with black? I wanted to say. This, you could, I guess. I mean, what else? Apart from resigning, that is. Should you take DC? What do you think, Step? It's DC or bishop f5? I mean, yeah, every single stuff you do with black, you can't tick all the boxes because you're kind of bad with the material. I think bishop f5 looks the stuff we may want to do. Bishop f5 looks because you really need this diagonal. At least you try that. Bishop f5, bishop bc, rook c, rook e d4. Yes. Yeah. And then the white king, I would say, Step, probably the white king just moves b2 or something. Probably they just play b2. So bishop f5, b, rook ed, but then no, oh, it takes with tempo. Okay, take c3 check, king b2, move the rook somewhere. Okay, still playable though, still playable, but okay. So let's ask the engine again. Bishop f5, yes. Yes, indeed. Bishop f5, bc, rook c, rook ed4, rook c3, king b2. Yeah, at least we've seen those three moves, yes. Hi there, Anira. Did the rover land on the moon? Did you film? I mean, did you like recorded the stuff for posterity? Good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Happy you're back. Very soft landing. Well, hey, a landing is a landing. Soft, hard, don't matter. A landing is a landing. Yeah, the gravity is not that strong over there. Oh yeah. Excellent. So yes, I'm happy. We've actually went and chose the bishop f5. Hello, Raven. So bishop f5 is a good one. We did call that, and it makes a lot of sense. You just get some light squares for your bishop. It can't be that bad after all. And very likely white's going to take. You want to take the pieces off the board. Or will he do something? I don't think you want to tolerate this knight, because if you don't take it, if bishop f5... Sorry, bishop f5, you're going to move the rook. Yes, you're going to move the rook. No, you're not going to move. You're going to take the knight because if bishop takes, you're going to take again, ending up with the actually with the full piece. So bishop f5, bishop takes. If bishop takes, you're going to take with this guy, and it's definitely way better. I think the eval bar would go huge for white. Okay, that's not a problem. So bishop f5, bishop takes c6. Yeah, that's a must. This is a must. It can't be otherwise. It's got to be this sequence here. It must be this sequence here. I don't think there's anything else. Now, I'm not sure Abasov gonna play this though, but what else can you do with black? I mean, it's already bad. This is already bad. Can't find anything. There is anything. There isn't anything. This one is slight. I mean, it has some virtues in terms of not allowing any rook coming down on the back rank or something and hitting the a2. Maintaining the status quo as it is. Not optimistic, but hey, at least it's something. Bishop e6. Looking at the a2. Okay, that might be. But probably bishop f5 attacks more. I like bishop f5 a bit more. Because, I mean, you're attacking equality and you're taking the light squares right next to the king. So, it's definitely something. Bishop f5. c6. What does that mean? Streams are cancelled, guys. They can't be cancelled unless you broke a couple of rules. What do you mean streams being cancelled? You got to give a bit more details on this one. Why would they cancel your stream? So let me read what Anirudh suggests here. Bishop f5, bishop takes c6. Oh, bishop e4 is actually winning for white. Yeah, rook takes c6, Anirudh. Yes, the sequence is f5, bc, bishop takes c6, and rook takes. Yes, that's the correct one here. Yes. Takes, and then you take this guy, and then rook takes c3, and then king to b2. And you play it with two rooks versus rook and bishop. Again, still not completely over, but some good advantage for white here. But it's not over. Not just yet. Not just yet. Yeah, that's the best stuff. Is he gonna play it or not? I don't know. Don't know if he's gonna play it. Absolutely don't know. And tomorrow, very nice. Imagine Fabi wins. Tomorrow gonna see tie breaks, guys. And yeah, let's see what Magnus and Prague do tomorrow as well, because they drew today. A hugely accurate game, like the masters they are. Fabulous accuracy. Yesterday was a 98.9 accuracy Prague and 99.2 Magnus. I mean, this is just ridiculous. This is crazy accurate. Over the board games, crazy accuracy. They are indeed best on the planet. Fabulous. Right, so how's that thing with the streams canceled? What do you mean? What's this? You didn't provide any other information. Okay. Well, he doesn't move. Shall we do a quick puzzle before they actually decide what to play? Shall we do a quick puzzle, guys? Before this these players actually do something here, because Abasov for 2 minutes, it might take 10 minutes for him to do something. So I think we've covered the main idea here. So yeah, we're just gonna see if they actually play it. Let's just do a very, very quick one, a very quick puzzle here together, people. What's going on? Black to play. I can see a discover check from the queen hitting the king. Now, how exactly we're gonna do that? That might be a take, because at least I'm taking the white queen. But then they're gonna take me. Then they're gonna take my rook. It's not gonna work. Maybe this. Oh yeah, that looks good too. Check from the king, from the queen. They have to do whatever they have to do, and then we're just gonna grab the queen by the looks of it. Okay, check. They move, taking a queen. But I was just about to. I was just about to make the wrong one here. Black to play in this position. It could be a couple of things. Could be maybe something with the knights to play. Is there something with the pawn advancing? Is there something else? Do we have to take the knight first? Is there a fork somewhere? Oh, where is the black queen? The black queen disappeared. So if I take and they capture, well, they could take with the queen as well or with the king. Not sure though. No, I can't push the pawn now. I can't push the pawn now. Take this guy. If they take with the king, queen, rook takes, bishop takes. No, I'm losing. This one, nope, I'm losing. Is it this check here? That looks interesting. Knight to c3. Let's look at this one. Knight to c3. If they take, do I have a fork? Where is the fork? This one, rook takes. What the heck's going on here? No, I can't do this. What's this? What the heck is going on here? This position. Black to move here. Do I play the bit? Where do I play the? Do I play this, this, and this? Huh. Knight c3, king takes d2, knight b1. That's the fork. Yeah, that's the fork too, because knight b1 hits the king and the queen. Now, so I was looking for the fork. That's the fork. Well, wait a second. Knight c3, king d2. What? Knight? Hold on a second. Let me just look at your line. Knight c3, king to d. What? No, wait a second. Knight c3, king takes the bishop, and then this. Yes. Yes, and if the rook takes, we're going to promote with queen. If the rook doesn't take, we're going to take the queen. Yes, that's the fork. So this is the fork. Yes, and now we're taking the queen and practically knight and bishop versus rook, and that should be winning. Should be winning. Absolutely should be winning. Black to move. Pressure on the pin piece or something else? No. Pressure on the pin piece, or do we just do battery here? This guy is pinned anyway. I could hit the pawn and then the queen and then threaten here because I'm hitting 3 times. Maybe. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Is this? Nah, that can't be. This must be it. Rook takes c5. Or I mean, rook e5 takes c5. Rook e5 takes c5. And nothing can stop the check with the rook here. It's got to be this. It's got to be this. It still don't matter. We're still going to go with rook c1 check, people. And then we're going to take again. Yeah, that's the stuff. That was the stuff indeed. Okay, let's try one more time. Oh, that's a nice one, people. I'm not sure it's very easy too. But probably I'm just going to have to make sure this guy is being guarded. And then I'm just going to march. Okay, stopping this guy from... I can still think I should be pushing the pawn. This is unnecessary. I'm going to take him when the king gets closer. In the meantime, I think I need to advance to the 5th rank. Now I'm taking. I have to take. And now I'm going to promote before them. And when I'm promoting, I'm stopping the white pawn from promoting. So, by the looks of it, that should be it. That should be it. Okay, what are we looking at? Check here. Then we buy... No, wait a second. We gotta check with the queen as well. Maybe I need... No, I can't do this. There is a black queen. There is a white queen here. So there must be something else. Check. The only move would be probably... Well, not the only move. They could block, but then... Yeah, then I'm playing this. And if there's any... No, that would be checkmate. No, it's not. I'm blocking this guy. I think this one should be the beginning of this puzzle. It's got to be this. Now, there is a subtlety here. I don't think I'm getting checkmated. If I play this, and if there is a check, I always drop the bishop. and still threatening to take on f1. So I guess it should be queen e2. Yes, should be queen e2. I don't get checkmated or something. Or should I just take? Nah, that doesn't mean no, we can't do this. I think we're losing. So queen to e2, right? Anirudh, step. You reckon, guys, queen to e2? Should go queen e2, right? I think so. And this guy is the savior. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure there is no other subtlety and I'm missing it. Okay, one last time, then we're going to go and see what Abasov and Fabi did. If they did something, it was Abasov's turn to move. So, white to move here. This guy is pinned. Am I getting checkmated or something? No, I just take with the rook, and I'm also threatening here checkmate myself. But there would be something interesting. If I take with the rook, you know what's funky? There would be a check here. And the fork. So probably I should take with the bishop, guys. Probably saying. Maybe. And then after I take with the bishop, they're going to move. And then maybe I'm going to take the knight. Then queen's going to take. And then, yes. And then I'm going to take on g7. Yes. Not the rook. I don't think the rook. I think it's the bishop. Let me tell you why. If I take with the rook, I'm still going into this kind of thing. It's complicated, right? It's check. You got to move. They take your guy. I don't know. It's complicated. Bishop. Let's say they move here. Then bishop takes on b3. If there is this, I don't care. Queen takes, bishop takes. I'm good. So bishop takes, king f8, bishop takes, queen takes, and checkmate practically. So bishop captures with check. You see, that's the thing. Rook f7, it's not a tempo. You're threatening big, I'll give you that. It's going to come rook d1. So we got to keep it nice and simple with bishop takes f7, right? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And now bishop to b3. There is no problem whatsoever with any rook on d1. I got no issue with that. And bishop to b3 does a couple of things. Apart from connecting the rook and the queen, also hits the black queen. So this is game over for black at this stage. What? Don't tell me it was queen takes g7 check and then... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is just ridiculous. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Okay, this is just so funky. Don't tell me it was queen takes, check, king takes, bishop takes, discovered, whatever the heck, and then you take. Oh, how crazy that is. Oh boy. I mean, no, sorry. Queen to g7 was just a step too far. I thought that actually bishop takes b3. It's more than logical, simple, and nice. Oh, come on. You can't do this. You cannot do this. Okay, queen takes. Can you believe this? I mean, you're supposed to do this kind of stuff. Check. And takes. This is crazy. Okay, let's look at your idea. I think rook f7 step just gets you in some trouble because of the stuff. So if you take here, you actually let them do some crazy... It's not even check. It's knight takes a1. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, forget about this one. Step, forget it. It's knight takes a1. It's knight takes a1. I'm sorry. It's not working. Rook takes e7. Just bishop takes f7 works. This is sick. A nice one. Absolutely sick. It's not rook takes. It's not because it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, you could do, I assume you could do this kind of stuff. But then the game is not over. The game will continue, and it just will continue. You take this guy, this takes, and actually, no, you're losing practically. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's go back to Abasov and Fabi, and then we're gonna do a couple of more. What did they do, folks? I was just... Has he moved? Has he moved anything? King g7. So hold on a second. There were a couple of things we missed. So they took rook e4, okay. DC, after like a billion years, he decided to check king g7. Okay. Can I just take? Then bishop takes. Okay. Still not over. It's not over. I'm not sure I want to take anymore. I am absolutely not certain I want to take on c6. If I take on c6, I think I'm enabling a very powerful bishop, cutting through the b7, g2. I'm not sure I want to do this anymore. I shouldn't be taking the knight. I have to do something else. Should we do rook c4? Should we do... Okay, he did rook e3. Okay, I just wonder if rook c4 was playable. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Let's see how bad... let me see actually if the engine proposes. Rook d5. This is a little bit sick. Rook d5. If knight would take, what do you do? You taking here? Sorry, rook d5? What if knight takes? Rook d5. I mean, what? Sorry. Oh, no, no, no. Rook d5, not d4. Doesn't make any sense. Of course, rook d5. But he went for rook e3. He wants to take this guy. Okay. Now I understand. Yes, rook e3. Was rook c4 that bad after all? Probably not the best. +1. Okay-ish, I guess. Still playable. Yeah, not a disaster of a move, not a complete blunder or something that loses the advantage immediately. Okay, let's go back to the actual move that's been played, guys. So that was rook e3. Rook e3. A bit on a safer side, rook e3. Looking at c3 anyway. Okay, rook 3. Fine. Rook e3. Now Fabi has to play because a6. Okay, do you know what's with the a6 step? a6 actually wants to sort of make you capture. Well, ask the question. It puts the question to the bishop. They want to make you take so they can activate actually this bishop. This is something you shouldn't do with white. You shouldn't take the knight, activating a very dangerous bishop on c6 along the c6 g2 diagonal. I don't think we have to do this. You just have to refuse the trade. Keep the tension. Play bishop a4. If b5, you are forced to drop bishop b3. And you just play it. Bishop to b3. That's what it is. I don't think we should be taking... What do you think, guys? Do you think we should take on c6? I wouldn't touch that c6 knight. I wouldn't take it. Would you take the knight on c6 step? And my other chess friends, would you guys actually take the knight on c6? I wouldn't touch that knight. So before we summon the stockfish, do you think, guys, should white take on c6? I absolutely wouldn't. I'm not simplifying the game. I'm actually helping black here if I take the knight. I'm all for simplification and actually make it easier and clearer to think and apply whatever you need to win. But bishop c6, actually, if you take, you're helping black here to at least draw. You never know what might happen down the road. So, no. I would say either bishop a4, bishop c4. Which one is it? Probably bishop a4, though. I still want to keep the pin. No, I still want to maintain the pin, and if there's any problem, bishop b3. Yes, bishop a4, exactly played. The engine likes it. Everything's fine. Bishop a4, maintaining the pin, not a problem. Not a problem, bishop a4. b5, bishop b3. Okay. I think it's obvious. Or bishop c2. If b5, you go bishop b3, you go bishop c2. Probably bishop b3, right? Probably bishop b3. You want to look at this guy. You never know. If the knight plays, you might be able to play this. Nice double attack here. Pressure on the f7. Probably bishop b3. Probably bishop b. So what is Abasov going to do? I don't know. I think it's going to take a little bit of while. Okay, let's go hit another puzzle. No, definitely you don't take on c6. b5. Is he going to play b5? If you were with black here, you don't want to trade stuff. Okay, but b5 is kind of goodish because you can push b4. So if they do b5, and if you play bishop b3 or bishop c2, it is also possible for black to consider b4, thus connecting the two black pawns. What do you think about this one, Step? Do you think that's actually an idea black should be thinking of? b5 and b4, regardless where the bishop goes? I don't know why bishop should be. Probably b3. Probably b3. But do you think that black should play b4, actually? b5, bishop b3, b4. You think bishop b4? I think so. I mean, what else? Probably. Because if you don't, if you play b5, bishop b3, and if you don't push b4, that's what's going to happen. And then this is what's going to happen. So if b5, bishop b3, and if you don't push the black pawn down the board, what's going to happen is rook's going to take, and then bishop's going to play here. I think, and that's really the end of the game. This is the end of it. You can't survive this. Pressure on the pin piece and stuff. No, pieces are going to come off the board very quickly to complete white's advantage. So if b5 and bishop b3, b4 immediately. And if there's any a3, a5. I mean, what else do you want to play? Yeah, you could. Bishop a4. Very interesting. Very nice. Very interesting and very nice. Yes. 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 That's another idea. b5, bishop b3, b4, bishop a4 back where they were. But now you can't move out of the pin. Now it's getting even grimmer. But how do you take this? Oh, you dismantle it like this. Then a5, then you take, then they take. Yeah, but then you can just take because the bishop is no longer supported. And when they take, you just... No, you can't. But at least you can play this. Okay. b5. I really don't know if b5 should be played. Probably should be. Maybe not. Maybe this. Huh. Maybe this? I didn't look at that. This? No, you can't. This guy is actually attacked twice. You just can't do this. Okay, let's see what the engine suggests. So b5 seems to be, but I'm not sure. Do you just push? Oh, look, this guy is shaky. What if you just push it? In terms that if king takes, you're going to have a discovered winning stuff. Sorry. Push the pawn down. So this guy's going to fall, right? Push the pawn down. If they want to take with the bishop, you're no longer in a pin. Maybe you can play the knight. So that's another idea. Give the c pawn now because you need to open up the rook file. What if you just push c3 to c2 down the board? Just give the pawn. Two things may happen if you push it. May happen, I say, because there's no guarantee. White is not forced to take your pawn. No, he doesn't have to, and he shouldn't. But when you do not take, that's what's going to happen anyway. I mean, what else? Because there's no good stuff to play here for black anyway. So if we establish, Step, that c pawn is already doomed, it is doomed. The c pawn is going to be captured. And if the c pawn going to be captured, push it down the board. Rook c3 going to happen regardless, but just push it down the board. You never know. Maybe Fabi takes it. Maybe takes it with the bishop. Thus, you're no longer in a pin. I mean, you really don't have too many options here. You just don't have too many options here. Abasov is in a bad position for like the last 15 moves or so. He's in a bad position here. What do you want to play in a bad position like this? You can't move the knight. You can't... I mean, you can play the rook. No, you can't play the rook because the bishop drops. All sorts of things. All sorts of things. I don't even know what's worse here. I don't know. It's baddish. It's bad. It's bad for black here. I don't know. It's so bad for black. Bishop e6. Maybe bishop e6. Looking at this, then bishop takes, rook takes. Maybe that's another idea. So bishop e6, it's another idea. What do you think about bishop e6 step? Guys, what do you think about playing right now bishop a6? Looking at a2. Actually, the longer I look at a position step, the more I'm inclined to say bishop e6 is actually the correct option. No, not... Yeah, the correct options given the circumstance. You're not going to win or something, but at least bishop e6 sort of stops the rook from cooperating here. It's sort of like a natural blockade for the rook and for the other rook. So bishop e6 is something. It's something. What else? And you're looking at the a2 pawn anyway. You never know. Then you might be free. You might be free to try something with the knight. Again, not super clear what exactly, but you try to. At least you try to. Bishop e6. Knight b4. What else? I don't see anything else for black. Let's ask the engine. Let's just ask the engine what they want to play. Yeah, bishop e6, exactly. King f8, it's not something I would do. It's not something I would do because I'm a human and I can't get the king to f8. I mean, it has some virtues, but I can't do that. Yeah, bishop e6. I'm happy, actually. It's been indicated, after all, bishop e6. I've wasted a little bit of minutes. I've wasted some time considering the b5, which is actually a bad move, after all. But I'm sure Abasov thought about that one, and he still thinks. I hope he doesn't play it, though. I hope he goes with bishop e6. B5 sort of like breaks the pin, so you might be tempted to go at b5 to break a pin, but actually results in more weakening. This one is nice. It's really good, bishop e6. Yeah. It is. Step, I'll tell you something. King f8, you wouldn't play it because the king is happy where they are currently, and you wouldn't play it because you wouldn't play it. Bishop e6 on the board, ladies and gents. Bishop e6 has just been played. Look at this. Bishop e6 right now, cruising down the board here. a2 under fire, and the knight is free. So that's a good stuff that just happened for Abasov's game. Bishop hits the pawn. Knight on c6 is free to go whatever they... Well, not quite anywhere, but you know, you could look at b4 ideas. What if white plays just bishop b3? Wouldn't that just completely thwart any black's attempt to create anything, really? Bishop b3. How do you do this? Bishop b3... Bishop c6... Yeah. Even simpler. Look, I'm a little bit disturbed by the bishop. I would like to trade. If you ask me what I want to get rid of now on the board, I'm just annoyed by this bishop. I guess you could take the knight, pawn takes, and then how do you keep this guy alive? a3? No. I've got another plan. I got another plan. Bishop takes, pawn... Yes, bishop takes, pawn takes, rook c3. Yeah, but then freaking bishop d2. Guess what? You take on c3, and black, for instance, takes on e2 and then goes back on d5. There you go. And then you have a little passer here. I really... Look, I'm hating this bishop on e6 with a passion. This is just something. This is the most annoying stuff. I reckon you could just take this guy straight away. Bishop d5 would happen very quickly. Then you could play rook c to a3, hitting this guy here, for instance. You're just going to try and play that. Of course, g4 is going to happen, trying to undermine the pawns here. Of course, that's going to happen. But what can you do? Don't tell me you're going to take this guy. You can't do this. You can't do this. Rook takes pawn here. No, this is a no. It's a disaster. The only advantage is the fact you're having two rooks versus one bishop. So, again, rook e3 takes c3, bishop d5, rook a3. And then black plays something like what? Like this? Can't do this because that's going to fall. I think it's good. I think it's good. You're going to be taking then more pawns, either a6 or c6 pawn. So if you do this maneuver with rook c3, you're going to take more pawns from black here. Bang. Boom. That feels the most natural ever move. You got to do this. Rook c3, bishop d5. Very good outpost for the black bishop. You're not going to be taking that bishop unless you want a second exchange. Rook c3, bishop d5, rook d5, and you win. Yes, yes, yes. True. Rook c3, bishop d5, and this one. Yes, yes, bingo. This is a tactic I missed. Yes. Rook c3, bishop d5 can't even be played. So they go back? I don't know, but it looks bad. Probably they go back. Probably they go back. So rook c3, bishop d7. If you double up, they're going to... Yeah, you're not going to... Yeah, you don't do that. Rook c3, bishop d7, rook a3. This is it. Am I correct? Is it rook c3, bishop d7, rook a3? Is this correct? Rook c3, bishop d7, rook a3. I guess. I hope. Well, actually, after rook c3, you know something? Bishop might be taking this guy. Yeah, but then this guy will be captured. Okay, again, I don't think there is any good play for black at this stage. I don't think there's any... Yeah, there's no good play for black. I'm afraid there is no good play. That's a very sad thing for black, that bishop d5 is unplayable. Because if this one was playable, would have been way more difficult for white. But as you said, this little tactic, rook c3, bishop d, this little tactic actually, it's a sad thing for bishop because they need to either go on d7 or they just take on a2 and then go back on e6. But things are going to fall. Things are going to fall for black here, unfortunately. Yeah, there is no good move. So, ladies and gents, there is no good move for black at this stage. That's the reason the engine tells you now that white is in the lead seriously with plus 1.10. Is Fabi taking on c3? Of course, I hope he takes on c3. We're going to ask the engine, then we're going to go for another quick puzzle, perhaps. Rook c3. Anirudh, if you're there, do you think rook c3 or something else? I think rook c3. Let's ask the engine, though. c3. a3 in order not to lose the guy, so you can take it later. Yeah, but I like rook c3 more. It's more like a human approach. So rook takes c3 is like a human move. a3 is a bit like, I don't know, feels a bit weird to play a3. I want to take the guy here. I want to simplify forcing this trade, taking more stuff. Definitely rook c3. Okay, so we had the confirmation. Let's go quickly do shoot another puzzle. Then we'll be returning, see what the guy's doing here. All right, guys, white to play. I like this square so much. I like that square so much. And I think queen goes or rook goes. Let me see. Goes here, then this guy plays. And then rook plays. And if they go here, I got this checkmate in 2 of 3. So rook plays. If they do this, I got this. Game over. Not with the queen, though, because I'm going to move left, right, left, right, left, right. So rook's got to be. Rook's got to be. Now I am going to play... No, I can't do rook here. Oh, I'm going to play this for this. Is there another thing? I don't think so. No, I'm going to play queen to c7, and it's pretty much unstoppable. Stage, we can't stop this from happening. And there is no check or checkmate threat happening. So that's good. Okay, next puzzle here, guys, before Abasov and Fabi decides what to play. We got a many things. We got many things here, I guess. Is it rook sacking here or something? Or just doesn't make any sense? Maybe there is a bishop. This takes quite soon, but this one. Let's play knight for this. Ah. What the... Bishop h2, yeah, I guess. What? What if rook? No, you can't do this. Well, you might... No, you can't do this. No, there's just too strong of battery here. Bishop h2, king takes. Well, after king takes, what do you have? You have this. So queen is gone. What if they take with the king, though? So, okay, bishop h2, king takes. Okay, no, not the king. Sorry, queen takes. Then you play this. Then queen's got to go somewhere. Well, that's the question. So we've established step. If we take with the king, game's over after rook h4. Forking, checking king, forking the queen. Done. We've established that. But now, bishop h2 and queen takes, though. We could still push with rook h4 regardless. Okay, fine. We could play this fine. Where does the queen go, though? They can go g3. They could go check. Hey, you know something weird? Wait, if you play this, you might be running into this. After all, it's just funky. It's just. Hi there, Clint. Oh, you came via YouTube. Okay, this is just funky stuff. I don't know what to say. It's a bit funky here. So we need to find a follow up with this. I like it. Rook h4 is the solid approach. It's not that risky stuff. I'm a little bit scared about the bishop and queen and this, and then they check you, and just feels just weird. Really, really strange stuff. This one, on the other hand, this is strong stuff. You don't get checked. You're hitting h2 and the queen with tempo, and this is it. Then you play this. It's got to be this. Well. Do you? No, you just take the queen. So this, because this. No, you just take... Wait. Just wait. You know, I've had so many... No, you can't move the freaking bishop. It's pinned. Okay, let's move the... No. If you go here, we're running into this. So if you go here, this happens, but then this. So this is a subtlety here. And... Or you could just very well do this. You could. You're saving a knight at least. Or you could just do this. You're saving them all. Yes, that's correct. You save them all. We just saved them all. Let's see if our guys actually moved something. That's very good stuff. I've heard from our friend here, Anirudh. He actually told us about the rover land on the moon. So that's it's a national event in India. And now Prague is actually so close. Double national event for you guys. Awesome stuff. That's really super exciting for you guys. Another reason to be proud of. So pawn had to take. Oh, he hasn't moved nothing. He didn't move nothing. He didn't take. He didn't play a3. He didn't do nothing. He really wants to make sure actually he's going to win today. He can't afford the luxury to mess this up. So guys, that's another opportunity to be learning from a super grandmaster. You're obviously winning from a material point of view, from given the pieces activity. But look, a super grandmaster like Fabi doesn't hustle it, doesn't rush it. He's not moving fast. See, he's taking his time. You got 17 minutes on the clock. Uh, spend a couple more minutes and actually play something you're happy with. He just did. He just took on c3. Just took on c3. So let's just make it clear for our friends now. Rook c3 and the rook on d6. Attack twice on c6 pawn. Two things might happen here, I guess. Yeah, bishop a, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. Bishop a2, bishop d7. Now c6 going to be taking, I guess, with the rook on the d6, right? Or with this in order to do this. Ah, wait a minute. This is a nice subtlety here. I like it. I think rook c3 takes. Do you know why? If you take with this guy, they might be playing this. They might be playing this. So if we take with rook d6 to c6, they might play this. Whereas if I take with rook c3 taken on c6, I'm attacking also twice here. So I think that will guarantee the a6 pawn to being taken straight away. So I think that's really good stuff. What do you think, Step? What do you think, Clint? What do you think, guys? Is it rook c3? Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Rook c3 to c6. Exactly right. Yes, Step, but the move rook c3 to c6 enables you to take another pawn. So that's the big difference I'm thinking between them two. Now you have almost a guarantee you're gonna take another pawn. And not just that you're gonna take another pawn, you're gonna be hitting potentially this bishop as well. No, not just potentially, you just hit them for real. So this is very, very, very precise stuff. That don't matter nothing. You're gonna take this guy. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of checks here, but does that really matter? You could just play this at any time, and when they do this, you're gonna play the rook here. This is so nicely defended, everything. It's only getting better for white here. Ladies and gents, only gets better now. It won't make a bit of a difference. It doesn't make a bit of a difference. Fabi's to move. Look, we're just learning from Fabi here. He doesn't rush it. Obviously, he should take on a6. He wants to make sure that's the best move. I mean, what's the problem with rook takes a6? Is there any danger here, something? Is there any fork or something? I don't... Yeah, he just took. There you go. He just took. Rook takes a6. Hitting the bishop. Again, check. No, not this one. If there is a check, you're going to block with the rook. If the rook goes here, you are going to block with the... I mean, the rook from d1 goes to d2, and then that's game over pretty much, I guess. Is you have no play. So after this check and this, after rook is ultimately getting on d2, you absolutely have no game for black. There is absolutely no initiative, no nothing. It's go. So yeah, more powerful, obviously. I think black should be exploiting actually bishop to e6 now. I don't think he should do nothing sort of rook e1 or rook e2, which is an adventure, very costly adventure for black. Nope. No, no, no. Bishop e6. Oh, come on. Rook e2. Well, he's going to play rook d6 to d2. And this is just a little bit like game over, more or less. Maybe after rook d2, you're going to play what? Check? Come on, that feels so weird. That bishop should be dropped. Oh, exactly, rook d2. We didn't even need to check with the engine. I mean, this is almost exactly rook e1. We said that one. Can we just go king to dark square here? Or shall we just keep playing rook d1, rook d2? We don't want to do rook d1, rook d2, do we? Okay, it's good you're doing homework, people. Summer homework, right? Maths and stuff. That's very good. You might be having a very nice chess career ahead of you, Clint. So, yeah, keep up the work, keep up the study, keep up the puzzles. Step here is a very good, puzzle solver. He sees a lot of stuff, and that's awesome. He's really good at this. So, yes, king b2, exactly. I'm very happy to put a king on a dark square. Now I reckon black's going to play something like bishop e6 and tries to hold it. You know, I think this is very instructive, ladies and gents. I mean, really, I think this is very instructive because I know on paper, I mean, just look at a position now. Just sit down comfortably on your chair, couch, bed, whatever. This is not easy to capitalize on. There is a bishop on e6. I just want to see the technicality of it. How do you budge that bishop on e6 at some point? Because that bishop's going to stay there. Currently can't be challenged by a pawn because there is a guy here on g5. I mean, at some point you could do just h6 ideas. And then, well, a rook has to reject any trade. So I reckon something like e3 and e5. I mean, there's really there's just nothing else to play here. So rook e3, rook e5 might be some ideas to consider. How does white force the win here? I know it's a huge advantage after all. Two rooks is two rooks. Raven, JS Company, how do you force the win here for white? And all of the other friends that might be watching at this second. How do you actually really make a win here with white? So it's a plus 1.16 based on the fact white is boasting two rooks. Okay. I reckon you got to put the rooks on dark squares. So this rook on d2 will have to stay here for the time being. But this rook is more free, so to speak. So you might be able to, you have to start targeting this guy. And you will have to decide probably to just play this kind of stuff. Again, I think it's important you keep your pawns on dark squares. So this is actually a very instructive ending position. Now, you're not the only one, Raven, that does homework and stuff. So that's good stuff you're doing this, people. Learning is very important stuff. So I guess for white now, a g3 is important and an f4. But I guess first we got to play something like rook a4. And just for extra security, yeah, I think rook a4. I don't know, you want to move it again and keep stuff on dark squares? Could be. Then something like f4, I really like it. But then again, g3 and f4. g3 and f4. This and this. Okay. The reason he went to e5, it's to stop white from doing this kind of ideas. And also, not just to stop the white rook from attacking the pawn, but also in order to play some rook b5. Check. So, they're going to be using all their time. They're going to go to move number 40, and they're going to get extra half an hour, and they're going to use that one too. Because whatever you say objectively does favor white here, but it's not a very easy, straightforward win. You can't just, say, yeah, sure, of course, I'm going to just win very easily here. You have to do a lot of considering, thinking, and predicting here. Not playable. This is going to happen. Check. And mind you, guys, there is already a bishop here. So when the black rook will check the white king, you have to think very carefully where you want to get that king. The king is a little bit out in the open. And it's such a nice cooperation in between the bishop and the rook. The rook also will be coming down. So let's just assume I'm going to play something like rook a3. I mean, just saying, hell, you could even play rook here. Or something. Or you could play rook a6. Where do you want to go? Where would you want to go? This is a check. You're going to play king c3, just saying. Then you're going to have rook b3 check. Where do you go? Gotta go c2. Okay. So it's not that easy, that straightforward. You still have to take it step by step, and it's a bit time consuming. Uh, I don't know how, but Abasov managed to survive up to this moment. 3 pawns versus 3 pawns. You know something? Just imagine, guys, that Abasov manages to, let's say, the 3 pawns will get traded and 1 rook will get traded. Then we're going to have rook and king versus bishop and king. This is a nightmare over ending. This is an absolute nightmare. I mean, this is just difficult to do, and it will be very costly time-wise. Not an easy win for Fabi today. And you wouldn't expect to be easy anyway. So this is something he needs to play very carefully. He gotta be very carefully here. Okay. I like this ending, very instructive. So if you want, you can tell me where you reckon the white rook's gonna move. A3, A6, A7, or would you just like to play like C? You wanna play like on C1 or something? He moved the king preemptively, so no more check. The king moved on dark squares, therefore it can't be checked by bishop. The only checks you may get is from the rook. This thing happens, if it would happen, you might be playing this. This thing happens, you might be going b5. The king is in the open. The white king right in the open. I mean, he sort of has to be aware to stay away from the light squares, not be getting in a fork or something. And this rook for time being defends g2, probably g3, f4, if you're given a chance. Because I reckon Abasov would be checking you. So you're going to get checked very many times. That's going to be an ending in which we're going to see tons of checks. Very many checks. Very difficult ending. I'm not even sure why it's going to win. I mean, it should be, right? It should be winning. Yesterday, he blundered, Fabi. I hope he's well rested today and he can take it further on, because that's not an easy ending. It's a difficult one. This, you can't go here, I reckon. This, and then you gotta go back. You don't want to trade like this, right? I guess you want to keep the rook's battery. What are the weaknesses? Nah, there's no other weaknesses. I think potentially you may want to get a rook on the 4th rank and then push f4, g3, f4. That's what you want to do. And potentially, yeah, potentially maybe a rook here. What else? I mean, what else do you want to do? And pushing the pawns, which is easier said than done. It's totally easier said than done. Yeah, you could tell me your thoughts, guys. It's an instructive ending. So if there is any intermediate students, I think it's instructive for everybody. If it wasn't instructive and if it was that simple, Abasov would have resigned already. If this was a simple, straightforward win for White, Abasov would have just resigned. But Super GM, like he is, make no mistake, he doesn't resign. Yes, that is correct, Sophie. It's the second game. And if Fabi wins this one, tomorrow they will be playing the tie breaks. All 4 of them. Prague versus Magnus, because it's 1-1. And Abasov and Fabi tomorrow will be playing in tie breaks if Fabi wins today. That will be 1-1. H6 by Abasov. The choices are slightly limited. H6 protects this guy and might allow potentially some, bishop moving over to G6 perhaps, taking these ideas, taking this light squares. King wants to go to f2. And then maybe g3. This is such not a very easy ending. I mean, look, I don't know what's more difficult here, to be Fabio or to be Abasov. Probably equally difficult for both players. This is just so not easy. It's a long, arduous end game. It's gonna take some time here. They are using the half an hour, which will be given to them shortly. They'll be using the half an hour for sure. How do you make progress here? I was thinking at some point, okay, so king f2, then rook a4 for f4. You want to dismantle this pawn structure, right? Check, okay. King f2, natural. I don't. Do you want to play rook d3? No. King f2 has just been played. Exactly. Now for white's prompt. Oh, guess why did black play rook b4? Just why do you think he played it? Exactly to stop rook a4 and f4 idea. That is exactly why Abasov did that. It's exactly why he did it. Rook b4, not allowing rook a4, thus not allowing f4. That's exactly what it is. So now he needs to find a way around, which practically means you still have to find some very clear plan to pushing f4. I guess that's what you want to do. So what do you play? This, I mean, it takes a billion years, but hey, this and this and this. Maybe then you can play on the b4. I mean, just saying, just look at this crazy stuff. You can't do rook a2 because the bishop will take you straight away. But can you just play rook c2? Sorry, rook c1, rook c2, rook b2 in order to get the b, and then you're going to play b4 and f4? I mean, do you guys see a shorter way? Clint, Step, do you guys see a shorter way to actually push the f4? I think this is key. I think that's quite important. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, he plays rook a5. Rook a5. It could be rook a5, rook e5, rook e4. Maybe. Good news for Fabi's king is that he won't get checked. As long as the white rook stays on d2, the light squares can't attack the white king because it's on a dark square. And you have all the freedom for this rook, but also black can use their own rook. Which actually, you know, just wait for hunting. If you ever move this rook, it's going to be happening this. Then you have to play this. It's an idea. Hell, I think you may even play this. And then play this, and then f4. Is that playable? I think this one just takes too long. Just takes too long. And this, and then they're going to be playing this. Then you're going to be playing this. Then, you know, no, you just take this one straight away. So after this and this, they can't. They need to move the rook away. So again, g3, rook d4 for this. Oops. Yeah, but that's dangerous because you're going to get checked like this. So back to the original plan then. Rook a5, rook e5, rook e4. Attacking the queen, then preparing f4. That makes sense, I guess. I think so. Could you also do this, and if they capture, you're going to go rook h5? No, you cannot, because h4 is protected by the rook. So actually, that's a bad idea, I think. Goes for this guy. Do you do g3? Yeah, g3. I'm not sure h3. Is it that bad, h3, after all? Then you can play king g3 if there's a problem. I'm not sure. I mean, one of these two for sure. Okay, h3. Yeah, you could get to g3 anyway. Okay, nothing. I mean, they just wanted to create to make you push the h pawn. And actually, I think Abasov wanted to get a half an hour anyway, which probably he just got it. Yeah, we're gonna see it on the clocks very shortly now. Oh, King g3, this and this. You know, don't play King g3 yet. Probably you could just do Rook e5, Rook e4. You don't have a reason to do King g3 now. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's good. It's good in terms that your rook might be able to just move whatever they want to. Like, hold on a second. What if you do this and this? Well, that's working too. But Rook e5 would actually not allow the pawn to go because you target the bishop. I guess that's not bad either. Yeah, but you put in the rook on a white square. You got to be careful. You got to be aware of the white squares all the time. All the time. What do you do? This, this, this. Which one is it? Is there any other plan here? Do you see anything else? Because that's the only thing I can envisage now. And as we said, the guy's gonna get half an hour each. Yep. King g3. We did mention that. King g3. You could say for the time being the white king is out of checks and it's nice, tucked in, safe, no problem. That's good. Now I guess you could think if you want to proceed with rook here or with the other rook here, yeah, and then one of the rooks will have to move on e4. And I think the plan would be push the h, not the f. Why is that a difference? Because if you push the f, you're going to be getting more checks. Whereas if you push the h, it's totally safe and you can actually dismantle this pawn structure. King f6 wants to stop this rook. But fortunately, you got another rook. You can still play it though. Bang, and then this. I think this is the plan. I think this is the plan and it makes a ton of sense. Makes a ton of sense. Rook e2, rook e4. No more checks. No problem. King is nicely on g3. The other rook is on a dark square. And rook e4 actually will be asking the question to the rook and supporting this move. That would be something. And I guess it's only, yeah, it is just getting even better for white after this. Probably you've noticed, guys, from +1 something, we've got +2, 11 now for white. So Fabi gets this one step by step. Given the fact you're going to get half an hour now, I think really we'll see tie breaks tomorrow. Magnus and Prague, and Fabi and Abasov. Yep. Okay, let's go back to this. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. I think that sounds very good for white, and that's a very viable plan. And just nothing else for black to do to stop this. There's nothing else they could do to stop it. There's nothing else. Whatever you do, it's weakening. You have to keep this f7 e6 structure. There's nothing else. King tries to come closer, give a hand, lend a hand if necessary, and the rook will just try to do whatever they can. But this is pretty much unstoppable. The rook e4, h4. This is the plan. That's the only plan I can think of. That's the only plan I can think of. I don't see anything else. What do you think? Just let me know, guys. If you see a shorter way, if you see a quicker, easier, simpler way for white to capitalize, do let me know. I don't. I think this is it. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. I'm quite satisfied with this line. Quite satisfied with this line. Okay, let's shoot another puzzle, guys, because I think they will be spending some time. Given the fact they already got half an hour, probably it hasn't been updated or something. Let me refresh the page. Let me just refresh the page. Apologies for that. Just wanted to make sure we're actually seeing the right things here. Okay, yeah, King F6. Okay, let's just do a quick puzzle and we'll be returning. Let's do another one. But we got a couple of very strong puzzle solvers here, so that's good. Don't forget to do your daily puzzles, guys. Really, really good stuff. Okay, maybe we should take this guy off the board and then pushing this. One idea, because when this guy goes, I could take on G2. I mean, just the first glance. I don't even know if that's really the case, but just looking at. It could be some other tactics, but that's the only one I can think of now. It could be this, could be something else. So again, if I take, that's forced. F6, bishop needs to run somewhere, you know, and G2 then becomes a massive weakness. Clint, thanks very much for stopping by, brother. It's good, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow in the tie breaks. You visiting the stream tomorrow when Magnus plays Prague in the tie breaks? I appreciate your presence, brother. Cheers. And good luck with the homework and the summer stuff you guys doing. You're doing good. So, Step, what do you reckon about the current scenario here? Do we take on B3 and then F6 and then G2? Is this about, or it's a bigger tactic and I'm completely missing it? Sorry, I can't find anything more winning. Something, you know, more aggressive. I really cannot. I don't see anything. There's no other tactic I can think of here. Bishop takes 8, take f6, bishop h4, whatever they do. If they do bishop e3, I'm going to take this one. Then I can't take g2. Did you see that step? Bishop takes 8, takes f6, bishop e3. I've got a proposition. We don't touch the bishop. We take on g2 first. Take on g2 first. Let them take, because if I take, they take with f, thus I can't take on g2. So that's a bit of a subtlety here. Let's take this guy. Oh, blimey. Bishop b3 is not the strongest move. It's just not. f6? Oh my... No, I can't do f6. This guy's hanging. Oh no, it was h6. Oh, this is unbelievable. No, it was h6. It's more direct. You don't trade if you don't have to. So guys, you don't trade if you don't have to. f6 is not. Is h6. Let them take. Don't you take, because you're going to open up the a for them. h6. Of course it h6. It dawned on me later. I wanted to go f6. I don't know why. h6 felt a little bit okay. That's a shame, because I've seen the right idea in principle. So I did see the right thought. I mean, you know, the right direction. Just that the trade on b3 was completely unnecessarily. g2 was the weakness. Yeah, that's another idea. Step, that's another idea. So bishop b3 was completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Yeah, well, next time. But I have the right principle, just that the application was faulty. I don't know what that means, but you guys understand. Black to move. Oh, is this guy a queen? Sorry, what's going on here? Ah, but then I have this. So what? If I'm getting a queen and then check me, can't I just move something like this? Who cares? I mean, come on, this is done. Okay, there's this guy here. Okay, I get it. I understand. But once I play the queen, I'm still one step forwards. You saw what I mean? So F promoting is the first thing that came to my mind immediately. It can't be otherwise. You can't mess around here. You've got to promote, and then you'll take it from there with either checks or moving the king and stuff. Let's just get a queen. Now this is an important moment, guys, because if you choose to move the king here, you're going to be having probably another check. Good stuff is that you can block. Practically, you just take the queen. So I think it's king to f1. If king f1 and f7 coming down the board, hell, you're still having check here. So I would say king to f1 regardless, and it's just only looking good. I mean, check anyway. What the heck was wrong with this? Don't tell me it was king to c1. The most counterintuitive thing ever. This is so ridiculous. I mean, king to d1. Or this, because no more checks are coming. Can't do. Yes. Oh boy. The reason I played the king here was because no, actually it's a problem with this. I only looked at this. But actually there is a skewer. There is a skewer. We can't do this. Therefore this. Gotta be this. There's no check. Well, there might be a no, there's no checks. That's it. There's no more checks. So if this guy comes down, you still have your checks coming. Got this guy, guarding this, stopping this, checking the king. Nice little one. Yes, that is correct. Blank, that is correct. Okay. What did this guys do? He was in huge advantage here, Fabi. What did they get to? Let's see this one on a larger screen. What did they play previously? Hold on a sec. Yeah, rook e2, exactly as we said, because they wanted to play rook e4, amongst others. But bishop happened exactly with the idea of stopping rook e4. Exactly why they played it. Because they don't want to let you push h4. So rook now doubling, attacking this guy, which probably going to go either this or this. Which one are you going to go? g6. He went bishop g6. So you can't really check because you're going to drop this guy. But you got to find another. You still can't play rook e4. Play this. So you're going to play this? And this? I don't think it's that bad. Probably just have to do it. So rook eb5. And then potentially you might get yourself another check, forcing the king on g7. Then perhaps you might be able to make a battery here and play rook a4, thus enabling h5. Ultimately. Maybe this is doable. So that's a forcing one. Rook will have to refuse the trade, obviously. Probably go here. Probably. And then you might have a check. King will have to play. Then probably, yes, exactly. So that's the main idea. So rook b5, exactly. Rook b5. So this guy's going to move now. Probably on light squares. Probably here. You don't want to go on dark squares, right? So probably light squares here. Yeah. See you tomorrow. Cheers, man. Cool stuff. So rook c4. Okay, now I would like to get a rook on b4, but let's do a check first and then this. Rook a6, rook b6, rook b5, b4, and then h5. I think this one can't be stopped by black now. They can't stop it. They can't stop it now. This is what's going to happen. There's no more checks. White king's on dark square. No black pawn can be pushed down the board. So I think makes a lot of sense. Is it rook a5 and then h? No, I don't think so. You're just gonna go back. And even if they check you, you're gonna go nicely on h2. And this guy's gonna drop. So game over. So I don't think that's really a threat. Rook a6, for rook b6, for rook b4. Okay, he played the okay, fine. Because he didn't want to move on lights he didn't want to have two rooks on light squares, so he went with rook b5, b6. Now we're going to play this. This. I haven't checked this line with the engine. I'm not absolutely sure that that's going to happen, but it makes a lot of sense for me. Rook a5, rook b5, and then yes, good. So I had the right thought after all. This is the plan all along. This was the plan all along. That was the only plan in time, in town. That's the only idea. You can't do nothing otherwise because this is a very strong structure. You will have to sack and exchange. And I think if you do that, you're actually losing. Or it's getting really funky, and it's a shame for sure. Ladies and gents, the plan is rook b5, rook b4, and h4. This is the only plan. If you think there is another plan, let me know. If you think it might be another idea, you could make it known to all our friends, and let's look at it. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm not, because I think that's the only one to dismantle that pawn structure, and it's only getting better. It's only getting better for white. By the way, where is that half an hour? Wasn't it like 30 minutes after 40 moves? What's going on? What is that half an hour? Or it doesn't apply at this stage? I thought the format supposes like you do 40 moves and you get 30 minutes. Because if you don't, if you do not, then Fabi will have to play a bit faster. And you guys all know what happens when people do not have time. They do reckless sloppy moves, and this is a big question mark. And if that is the case, I think very well played for Abasov. He doesn't resign because this is not an easy ending. And you do need time to move accurately. You can't mess around. Yeah. You can't mess around. Wow. I can only see 13 minutes for Abasov and 6 minutes for Fabi. And I do not see any half an hour added to anybody. And that is move 46. So, blimey, the format doesn't give them. What is this? Rook c2. This is a move with tempo. This is what's going to happen next. So he's going to play this. This one going to happen. They're going to move again. Okay. Yeah, I think that's playable too. I think this is playable too. So wherever the black rook wants to go to will make a bit of a difference. Because this one is going to go to b4. And h5 is going to be played. That's exactly the plan. I don't think it matters where they move the rook now because they can't stop. They can't stop h4. If black rook c2, c4, white rook plays b6, b4, and you either move away or you trade. They might trade though. Do you? I'm not sure if they want to trade. No, I don't think they want to. He gonna keep the black rook on the board. He's got 12 minutes. Fabi's got 6 minutes. I don't think he's going to trade nothing unless he absolutely has no choice. If he does have a choice, he won't trade anything. You won't trade nothing. There is a principle in chess, guys. When you are down in material, you have to refuse any trading. If you can, that is. So just remember, if you didn't know, if you knew it, you knew it. So that's perfectly fine. You don't trade when you're down in material. You try to keep as much as possible on the board, even complicating things. And if you're up in material, if you got more pieces, pawns, or even a piece, try to simplify and make it easy for you to take advantage. But now white needs the rooks and needs definitely a rook here. H4, the main pawn breaker. The main pawn breaker. You have to do this. And then there will be a target. If the f ever moves, the king will be even more vulnerable. Checks on the 7th, checks on the back rank. I mean, it's even more. It's getting really naked. So that's no defenses for the king. So the f pawn can't really be pushed. Disaster would be for black to push the f pawn. The bishop is actually thriving. You know, you sort of want to have the bishop here defended by the pawn. Yeah. So 6 minutes and something for Fabi, 11 minutes for Abasov. No half an hour increment. Okay. So guys, I'm going to be returning in 1 minute. Don't go anywhere or just refill your coffee cups and I'll be back to just keep watching this game and shooting 1 or 2 more puzzles. And let's see what happens. Okay, we'll be returning in a second. Don't go nowhere. Oopsie daisy, what did I do here? Stop. Have they moved anything? Hey, we can't just repeat that. If black goes back on c2, do you reckon the rook goes b4, b2 again? I hope not. I hope not. Why did he play that? I thought the other rook was supposed to go on b4, so that if the rook goes here, you have already a rook in place. And with the other rook on the 4th rank, you can then push h5. Is there a... What's the thing? But you know something, if the black rook is on c2, does that stop you from h4 anyway? Just, what's the problem? Yeah, okay, you may not want to have the rook here, in principle, okay. But you can always challenge that black rook if there is something. So I think it's time for some h5 to happen. I think so. I think so. Well, that's something's for sure. The black rook has to move. Black rook has to play. You don't want to trade, do you? You don't want to trade. So rook has to move. Probably c2. And then we're going to see h4. There's just nothing to do. That's the stuff. That's the path you want to go. This is how you want to deal with this. And eventually you're going to then pressurize the g5 pawn. If they take, fine, you're going to use your rook and take here. Fine. If they don't take, you're going to take. So let's just look at this like this. So rook c2, you're going to push the pawn. If they capture, you're going to take with the rook. Okay, that don't mean nothing. H5, H4 going to happen right now. If H4 not happening, probably I missed something. I haven't checked nothing with the engine. If you guys been here for the last hour or so. So I just took it step by step, and it makes sense. And what I said actually came to be on the board because that's the only plan. So H4, right? You wanna do H4. Step, what would you do here if you had whites? Would you play something else? I don't think so. I think you would do H4, right? You have to do H4. So they take, you take. Thank you very much. Then maybe Rook G4. Or maybe go back and try and play Rook B5. Pressure on the G5 pawn. That's better. Sorry, if you take and they take, then you can make pressure on this guy like this. But probably they're gonna take. H5 they're gonna take, because if they don't and you take, I don't think this guy is defendable. It's actually getting very, very, very bad. So H4, okay. Is this a nice in-between move? Well, there's definitely an in-between move. And the engine, it's not very upset. In principle, it's not bad. You're just exerting pressure exactly on the ranks you plan on pushing your pawns to. So, it can't be that bad. Rook can go maybe c2 or c6, but that doesn't mean nothing because you're still going to push h5. Oh boy. This is serious. This is good. Totally h4. I don't think so. If we go backwards one move and ask the engine, I don't think h4 would be a bad move at all. Yes, if it's a rook and king versus bishop and king, theoretically you might be able to win, but it's not easy. Oh, win. You win after I don't know how many moves. But we're going to witness some h4, probably. Very. I'm surprised he didn't play it though. Is there any other rearrangements of the rooks? What's going on here? What kind of setup you wanna do? Do you wanna play this and then h4? I don't know. And okay, this is move number 50. This is move number 50 now. What is it doing? Why didn't he push h4? Okay, I reckon he wants to... What? Bishop d3. Aha! That's a nice little one. That's a nice little one, yes. Spot on, Pranav. Yes. That is sweet. Yep. Yep. Makes a ton of sense. Absolutely. Mind you, though, even if you could have played this, yeah, hitting the rook with tempo, actually, that's a funky one. No, that's an incredible observation instinct for Fabi. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, what a nasty one. Because if the rook was on b5, after bishop d3, you actually attack the other that rook with tempo. Then the rook has to move, and then you do have bishop f1. So it makes it quite funky. You got to be very careful, yes. So yeah, spot on. And eventually you would be able to push h4. Totally safety and with no issues related to g2 exploitable square, which is only attacked once. Thanks for the thought, Pranav. You got it. That's it. Totally. What a nice one. And he did see it. He did see it. Rook d5. So no bishop d3. And then h4 is doable. Totally doable. Can't be stopped. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. Anything you do with pushing the F pawn, it's only worsening stuff for black here. Whatever you do, it's very bad if you push. Huge, huge weaknesses on the 7. It's a disaster. So the F pawn can't be moved. H4 cannot be stopped. And G5 looks like something very weak as you're going to take. And if they take, going to take again. Oh boy, this looks so bad now. This looks so bad now. You know, guys, I think we are going to see just 6 minutes 30 seconds for Fabi and 5 minutes for Abasov. So there is no half an hour increment. And given the fact that the situation is as it is, they have to play all very accurately. Yes, Pranav, you are correct. There is the only counter game, the only counter play. And it has just vanished. Bishop d3 is not playable anymore. And h4 can't be stopped. And the reason you don't know what black does is because black doesn't have nothing to do. You don't know because there isn't anything to do for black here. Unfortunately for Abasov, there's nothing he could do. He can only hope Fabi is gonna entangle himself into some craziness. Yeah, he gotta play a waste move, something. Probably rook k2, probably. Just he gotta play a wasting move now, something. I don't know which one is it. Rook e2, rook a2, you name it. Probably rook a2. Probably rook a2, I'd say. Yeah, rook a2, yeah. Rook a2. What else? You said it. There's just nothing for black to play anyway. There's just nothing to play. I'm really curious. Guys, have you seen the clock? Have you seen the time for Abasov? It's 3 minutes, 20 seconds. 3 minutes for Abasov and 6 minutes for Fabi. I mean, you can't contrive nothing with black. Is there any other secret plan? Any surprising maneuver? Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna no, actually I don't want to do this. I wanted to say I'm gonna put the engine on, but there is just nothing for black. If there was, the eval bar wasn't plus 144. So for this reason, whatever black plays, it's a wasting move. It's a killing move now. You just have to waste to pass the time. You just a rook a2. You called it, brother. Who is it? Rook a2 Pranav? What step? Rook a2. Someone said rook a2. Rook a2 Pranav said it. Yes, rook a2. Now, guys, you tell me, is it h4 or something else? Is it h4 or rook d4 first? Nah, h4 straight away. You don't want to waste any more time here. Totally didn't have anything, Pranav. So, come on. Do h4. Come on, let's finish this. Come on, Fabi. h4. h4, right? 5 minutes, 50 seconds. I think you should play h4 and use those 5 minutes later on down the road. What is he doing? What's the other plan? What's he doing? What's he calculating? h4, come on. Okay, I'm gonna ask the engine if there is any other subtlety we might be missing on. But I don't think so. I don't think there's any other subtlety here. So apart from h4, I really don't see what else is here. Let me ask the engine. I mean, I just can't fathom this king h2 thing, right? You've got to be kidding, right? I mean, king h2, right? King h2. I'm not going to play this in a billion years, King h2. Why King h2? So that I can go back on g3? Come on, man, h4, look at this. It's just been played, and the engine gave us King h2 and Rook c5. Okay, I'm gonna go away now, because it's just annoying. The engine is annoying sometimes, really annoying, man. The only explanation I've got for Rook c5... So King h2 doesn't make any sense for me as a human. One, I mean, I might find something, but it's just annoying. Rook c5, the only explanation would have been you want to have the rooks on dark squares before you're starting any craziness. Because of maybe this and this when this rook goes away off the 4th rank. I reckon yeah, King h2, because at the end of 80 moves or something, he saw something. It was something lost in a long streak of I don't know how many hundreds moves. Just kidding. I have no idea, brother. Okay. Rook c5, I can see the meaning of it. I can see the meaning of it. If you look at this, and providing the white rook is not here and somewhere on the other ranks, you might be having this. I mean, just something like this, maybe. But it's not very clear at all. Probably wanted to move the rook on dark squares rather than whites. Okay. Now, h4 had been played. Looks here that Fabi is on 4 minutes and the other guy 3 minutes, Abasov 3 minutes. This is very, very difficult to capitalize on. How on earth you want to break through here? No, it's not clear at all. Yeah, hi, Deshay. I don't want graphic designing if that's what it is. Thank you. Not now. So, what are you doing right now? Rook f... No, if you want to do something with the rook, just leave it on f4. Rook f4. Rook g5 for rook h5. But f6. F6 would be bad for black people. So if black plays the f pawn, that would be weakening, exposing king to further checks and stuff. I'm not sure f6 is going to be played anytime soon. This is a bad idea, I guess. f6 is a huge weakening. It makes it easy for Fabi to win. Pranav is right. f6 is a disaster for black to play. Out of the question. Yeah, rook b4. Okay. Can someone tell me how you actually want to deal with this? Pawn f7, bishop g6, pawn h5. How are you going to deal with this? I'm okay, Shay April. I'm good. Thank you. I don't need any graphic designing for the time being. I'm okay. 1, 2, 3. How are you budging things here? What do you do? So, okay, I'll give you that. It's on the paper, 2 rooks stronger than rook and bishop. I don't dispute this. I don't dispute this. Would you please tell me how exactly you want to win it on the board? Where exactly you want to hit? How? Let me just tell you something. Black is going to play rook c2, rook a2 all the time. Tell me how you're going to use your rooks exactly. To do like what? An idea would be rook g5 and rook h4 for taking here. I think someone said that. Who said that? Rook g5 for rook h6. Yes. Step. This is it. Yes. Yeah, this is it. If in the process of rook g5, rook h5, black plays the super unhappy move f6, that's going to be even easier for white, because this is the plan. Of course, rook g5 could be replied with maybe some king. Yes. Yes, that's true. That's true. That's why it's not easy. That is why it's not that easy. And the white king is currently a little bit stuck to defend g2. You can't move because you're just going to drop this guy. Could be potentially, let me think. Could be this. Rook, no. Rook h2 is so painful. Oh, Oh boy. No, okay, guys, apart from rook to g5 and rook h4, I don't see nothing. And after king h6, good luck with breaking that fortress. Yes, Pranav, there is absolutely no way to break through. It doesn't seem to be any way. I mean, what do you want to do? Potentially trying to trade the black rook, and are you going to touch the pawns? Okay, you want to maybe take the black rook off the board. Then you want to put your king on a dark square. Okay, so plan would be like this, but that's a plan that will take you like 100 moves. Imagine there is no black rook on the board so that the g2 is no longer a weakness. Imagine that the king might somehow get on the g5 and the pawns on dark squares. And you're going to have a rook here pinning this guy. I think the white king potentially, after black rook disappeared, the white king would like to go to f6. So let's just imagine this. No more black rook. No, and one white rook had disappeared. Good. If you manage to get king g5 f6, and then try and push the other pawns and generate some attack in this fashion, probably. What does the engine say? Let's ask what does the engine say, because f4, f5. Oh, you asked them already. You asked the engine already. Okay. If the engine said that, probably yeah, that's it. Okay, let's ask them for everybody. f4, 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 f4. Uh-huh. f4. Another thought, a rook a5. Rook c1, rook b a4. This is like 100 plus moves. f4 would potentially expose the white king to some further checks. You're not gonna die or anything. Well, the engine sees everything with 100 moves before they happen, but you tell me what you want to do in 19 seconds if you have whites here. I think I would just draw. You tell me exactly what do you want to play with white in 11 seconds? 8 seconds, 7 seconds, you have the whites. Forget about it. Just forget about it. Call it a draw. Call it, okay, they have half an hour. Okay, okay, they'll be keeping playing. Okay, apparently, I mean, I thought the half an hour was given out 40 moves, right? They didn't add it on the clock. Why? I think you're right, Pranav. Therefore, Fabi gonna play until the very last second of this match. Probably he absolutely hates it. He absolutely hates it. He hates it. Yeah, probably they didn't update the time because I was expecting Pranav to see the half an hour already added when they hit 40 moves, but they didn't. And I was very surprised to not see that. Oh boy. So, if I am to make a desperate attempt to try and simplify, I'd like to take the black rook off the board, disappear one white rook, get the white king on g5, move the pawns on dark squares, try and stop the white, try due to the tempos, try to win the f6 for your king. So I'm envisioning like this: king on f6, white pawn on f4, white pawn on g3, king on f6. King on f6, and see if you can manage to get the other rook here and win a pawn after rook takes g6 and takes and king takes. That's how I think I would approach the winning side in this very, very difficult scenario. I will try and see if I can get the black rook, but this is I would say mission impossible. That is if you're not an engine. So if black rook didn't exist, you may want, due to tempos, get the white king here, get the white rook here. Your white pawns on dark squares, so no longer attacked by the bishop, and do a freaking trade when the black king loses the tempo and the black king is on G or somewhere further away one step. Then you take pawn takes, king takes, take this guy and just win. I can't figure something else. I don't know what else to do. F4. Okay, okay, I understand. Okay. Then make a battery, get a rook on the C and push the F. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sure. Why not? I mean, you said it yourself. If we draw, I lose because I lost yesterday. So I love to get the black rook off the board traded, but you want to bet Abasov probably will not agree on this. So how do you trade the rooks? F4 had been played right now by Fabi. Fabi is a super grandmaster. F4. It's completely admirable that he actually plays so accurate, so highly accurate moves after so much exhaustion and so many things he calculated. It's absolutely insane. It's ridiculous how good these guys are. Well, it's a FIDE World Cup. You can't expect less. It's just ridiculous how good they are. F4. Okay. Well, if they're rook c3, you're gonna go on dark squares, right? And then you can play g3 or g4. If you play like g4, you're probably gonna be seeing some rook c1 and checks all day here. I don't even know. Probably you want to do g3. f4, rook c3, king h2, and how is black stopping f5? This is actually the question of the day. This is actually the quotation of the day. Rook c3, king h2. Can they stop it at rook f2? Then this. Is king h4 better, Pranav? So let's say rook c3. Is h4 better? Being close to this guy when you push f5, maybe you can snatch the freaking pawn? Do you think king h4 after f5 would actually be winning the pawn? That's the idea. Oh, that's sweet. This is so sweet. This is so sweet. I love it even more. But Pranav, let me ask something. After rook c3, where do you move the white king? h4 or h2? And why? Probably h2 because you don't want to get checked on the back rank and things. Keep the king here, and then you called it rook g5 with devastating consequences. Yes, I think you might be right. I think you absolutely might be right. I want to avoid h1 checks. Yes, that's exactly why I would be inclined to say king h2 as well. Yes. Yeah. Rook c3, king h2. The plan is rook g5 and f5. Again, if there's any f6, it's going to go down very quickly. What the heck is that? Oh, can we just check the king? I think we just check the king, right? I guess. We check the king, king goes back, and then I'm going to play this anyway. Oh my God, Pranav, guys, you are crazy. Absolutely, Jesus Christ. King h2 exactly for this reason. Like 7 moves ago, exactly for this reason. Yeah, good night to you too, Raven. Oh, I thought you came here just for step, but I totally appreciate your presence, brother. Thank you. Maybe see you tomorrow during the tie breaks. I hope if you're joining tomorrow, you're not just coming for step, you're coming also for the tie breaks tomorrow together. Yes. Okay, king f6. Rook b6? Or is just too much? Rook b6, rook b6, rook b6. Okay, rook b6. King g7 or goes out in the open? I don't think you want to go in. So rook b6 forces black king back on g7 and then g5. Check, h2. You got a problem. You do have a problem after f5. And if you go out in the open, it's even more huntable. So rook b6, and if you go here, it's even more attackable. I mean, yeah, okay. Hey, we can still push f5, you see? So rook b6, e7, we can still do this. If not something better, maybe there's something better. I think it's okay. I think it's gonna get even more complicated for black. That was a very nice thought at rook g5, f5. Very nice thought. That was such a nice find by Fabi. Such a nice find. What I said with the plan with the king, the white king on f6, it takes like an eternity, and the black rook would refuse any trade attempt would be declined 100%. They are not going to accept any trade. Abasov is not going to trade the black rook. So that wasn't actually a very viable point of view. I couldn't have achieved nothing more than a draw. Unless I've decided to push the f pawn. Oh yeah. This is so sweet. This is so good. Oh boy. Yes, spot on step. Yes, he just called it. Yes, this is crazy. You could play f5 straight away. No more preparation, mister. No more preparation. You push f5 straight away. This is crazy. Step up. If bishop takes, you're always having this. King goes back, but then you can just double up. Of course you can. For instance, that's just an idea. You might be others. If the bishop take, it might be just rook f4 straight away. There's no defense. Yeah, there's no defense again. Yeah, you don't even mess around. If f5 and bishop takes, you go rook f4 and game over. Yeah, but if you play rook f4, there is no rook f2 happening. So that's just game over. Yes, f5 straight away. And I think Fabi looks exactly at this idea. You could do f5 and you must do it. The problem would be black doesn't have to take the pawn. They will go h7. Then might you be able to play rook h4? If there's any checks, you're going to play king h2. So I think now he's thinking about f5 straight away. Or maybe rook b6. I don't know. I haven't asked the engine. Probably f5 or rook b. These are the main two ideas. f5 and rook b6. It's also good to try and get the black king out in the open. So don't know which one's better. Rook b6 is very valid. It's very good. You could play f5 later. You play rook b6 first. You check the king. King will have to move. After the king move, you could push f5. That's a nice one too. Did we say rook g5? I think we did say rook g5 at some point. Rook g5. Check, and then you push f5. Okay. That's also somehow unstoppable. Unless they play rook here, which is not a problem. Let them play. You're going to play this, you're going to push this in? No, you can't. You got to play the king first. Then. I think rook b6 was a bit safer. Let's go back as the engine. I really want to know. Rook a4, rook g5. Rook g5 actually better than rook b6. Probably rook b6 for enough people. I think rook b6 is not a big mistake or a blunder. But rook g5 is stronger. Rook a4. Why? Why the hell rook a4? Why rook a4? You want to waste the tempo to see where the black king goes? That's why rook a4. Rook a4, king g7, king h2 again. I mean, look at the engine. Rook a4, king g7, king h2, king f6, f5. Okay, look, this is very, very nuanced, very deep nuances here. Rook g5, not a bad one. I can see through. I like it. It's good. Probably I would have played rook b. Let's see how bad is rook b6, by the way, guys. Let's see how bad it is. If it is, that is. Huh. Now go figure. The engine loves it very, 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 very much. As of now, it's going to go up and down like a yo-yo, but the engine loves it. There you go, rook b6. Do you see something bad on the eval bar for white? I don't. I actually see it's getting even better. Rook b6, it's been estimated now as plus 2.12. So it's even better than rook g5. It's just on the screen right now. I really didn't see what's wrong with rook b6. Rook a4 doesn't mean a damn thing. I don't even know what's that rook a4 doing, really. I don't know. So the move Fabi played, it's not better than rook b6. Let me just toggle off everything. So what we said suggested with rook b6 is better than rook g5. Rook e4, I don't want to make an effort to think about rook a4. I'd see it as a tempo wasting, seeing where the black king goes. Maybe you can do this. No, I just don't want to think about rook a4. I don't want to think about rook a4 because it's not worth it. It might be a mega subtlety somewhere. Some tempi. It could be some tempo somewhere down the road. Like after 100 moves. This one at least makes sense. Rook b6 would make a lot of sense. And then f5, definitely all the sense ever. So you got to send the black king away. E or G. So you can push f5, obviously. So black king has to decide if they go E or G. They're both quite bad, all of them. They're quite bad, all of them. You do this, it's this one straight away. It might be this one. Huh. What the heck is this? G7, F5, King H6. So, guys, have a look at this one. I really want to know what's going on. King G7, F5, right? King H6. What do you do? So after King G7, you don't push F5, but you rather play what? B5 or B6? I'm just curious. I'm just curious about this one. Tell me, Pranav, what's the idea? The idea is the rook defends the G2 pawn. Sorry, the rook on G5 defends the G2, you mean? Oh, uh-huh. And implicitly defending the rook, which the rook defends the G2 weakness. Sweet. That is sweet indeed. That is so sweet. I absolutely love this idea. I get it now, brother. All right. King h4, actually, the rook defends the pawn. And if the king goes f5, if the king goes here, it won't matter a bit because the rook is defended by the king and the pawn is defended by the rook and the king defends the rook from the king. Wow, 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 wow. What a move. What a freaking move. Yes, it's just superb. It's just superb. King h4, defending the rook when the king goes on h6. So this, and we can play king h4 because this, and even if this, we don't care. We really gonna capitalize massively. What a move. If rook c1, yeah, I think rook b3 and this will just stop everything. Important stuff, Pranav, and step. Important stuff for white is to be able to pushing that f4, f5 pawn. So we gotta push the f5 pawn. So yes, king to h4, and then f5 is just massive. Yes, and if there are any rook c1, you do have the necessary tempo to actually push f5 first. And after rook h1, you're just blocking with this guy, and then I think it's game over. So after f5 will be played, I think we might say it's probably game over. If this guy falls, if the bishop falls or something, I mean, this is very problematic for black at this stage. Yes, after f5 is going to get incredibly tough for black. I don't see beyond that point. But f5 must be played. F5 must be played. Just move this camera a bit. Yes, F5 has to be played. Amazing, amazing, amazing masterwork here. This is amazing master chess stuff. Yes, F5 has to be played, and then would be an easier game for Fabi to control, manage, and to deliver the deadly strikes ultimately. And tie breaks. But what a tough ending. What a tough ending. Exhausting for these guys, I reckon. It's just so difficult. It's so tough, so difficult. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what they play. The accuracy, the determination, and so many good ideas. It's Abasov's turn now. Yeah, he's looking desperately to find something to play, but there ain't nothing. I mean, you might have a check here, but he's aware King H2. No, actually King H4 now. Bishop F5. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's okay. So actually, if Rook C3, guys, probably we do have King H4, actually. Rook C3, King H4. Rook C1, Rook B3. Yep. I think we covered this with Pranav previously. Yep. I think that's exactly how we can play against Rook C3, King H4, Rook C1, Rook B3, and if Rook H1, Rook H3. And I think we're good. Absolutely good here. And F5 can't be stopped, and whatever they play, yes, is just the winning. In the minute F5 had been played, I think probably Abasov sort of gonna be resigning. Yeah, if F5 is being played, if H5 pawn falls, probably he gonna be resigning, I guess. Just getting seriously problematic for black, even worse than it currently is. So that's it. It's just a formality now. It's just a formality now. Probably. Yep, that's the best plan. The best plan available. 20 minutes for Abasov. Okay, let's just shoot another quick puzzle, then we're going to be returning. This guy is just now moving. Abasov, I don't know. Yeah, well, he tries to at least, though. Tries to think of something, but there is nothing. I mean, apart from a check on c3, apart from rook to c1, there's just nothing to exploit here. There's just nothing to do. It's nothing to do. I mean, you could just move that rook up, down, left, right, whatever. It won't matter very much. Rook c3, rook c1, there's nothing else for black to play. And yeah. Okay, let's show the puzzle rapidly. Because it's 20 minutes and I think he'll be staying more. He'll just gonna resign or something. Puzzle. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on in this mess? This guy actually forks a lot of things here. So probably we kind of have to take it. Well, we attack it like 4 times. Probably we should take with this guy. Maybe with this. Knight takes. Oh, play with this guy, and when they take here, we're having this check. For instance. Yeah, probably we got to take with knight f6 takes d5, unless there is something else. Unless there is something else. Knight f6 takes d5. Or do we, hold on a second, do we just do this? Takes knight, yeah, absolutely, it's knight c2. Knight c2, queen takes, and knight d5. Good luck stopping that guy. If this, oh, we have this. Yeah, it's got to be knight c2. Knight c2, queen takes, knight plays, bishop plays, and bishop b4. And b4, right? Rook c1, yeah. Yeah, rook c1 might be coming into play. This, bishop b4, rook c1. What other resources have we got here? Do I do something with this guy? What? Something with bishop also taken on b3 or something? Knight d3. Interesting. Knight c2, bishop takes, this one, this one, there. Knight c2, queen takes what? Knight d3. Knight d3. Pawn takes, right? I don't think knight d3. Then knight d5. Oh boy. Hold on a second. You can't. Yes, you can. Knight d3. Pawn takes though. Pawn takes though. Yeah, we'll be free shortly. Yeah. Totally. Yep. So it's interesting. Knight c2 or knight d3. I don't know. Knight c2, knight d3. Okay, let me look again at this one, but probably it's very passive. Knight takes here. If they take you, why not knight c2? This is annoying. Yeah, there's bishop d2, and then it's rook c1. So I'm not sure at all. Maybe it's just this one, but then we got this. It's a bit annoying. Is it queen takes, queen takes? No, that can't be that crazy. This is a tough one. What the heck? This one is the most direct one, but I don't see till the very end. Ah, and you also have this. I'm not sure. Be anything. Bloody hell. Could be absolutely anything. This takes bishop though. Bishop plays. This guy plays. So what is the follow up? Do you play bishop? Do you play knight d4? Do you play the bishop on b4? Knight takes, queen takes, b4, d2. Oh, knight to d5, knight to d5, rook to c1. Knight takes, bishop takes, bishop takes, rook takes. I don't know what's this. Unless I'm calculating something totally non-existent, and actually that's just that not doing nothing. Wait a minute. Yeah. I think it's knight f6 d5. If this was, yeah, knight d5, that's what I'm thinking. Knight f6 takes d5. That's what I would play. And if there is any knight taken on e5, I'm just going to take with the queen. That's it. No, knight fd5. No, that's exactly my last conclusion, was knight f6 takes d5. Because the other idea with knight c6 just simply doesn't pay off nothing. You just mess it up and you're down a piece. Knight f6 takes d5. I mean, actually, that was the first thought that crossed my mind. Now I'm overthinking craziness. I'm gonna play it. Yeah. Oh, for Christ's sake, that was the guy. Knight f6 takes d5. Now we're going to take here. That's it. Done. Finished. That was it. Finished. Okay. All right, people. Did this guys actually do something? Huge, 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 huge advantage for white here. Massive advantage. Massive advantage. This is it. H5 gonna fall. This one gonna be played, take, and then push the G4. Game over. Done. White should take on H5. Ah, that's sweet. This is so sweet. He didn't even bother take with the queen. He took at the rook. G4 gonna be hamming. Yes. Well, yeah, we might be a bunch of potential grandmasters, yeah? When we team up together. When we team up together, we manage to play like a GM. That's the whole thing. Couple of minds, make a GM in the end. Yeah, nice one. Okay, G4, guys, unstoppable. You got a huge +5 plus 0.46. It's just, this is it. It's done. You can't stop G4. You can't move the king away. The guy is going to fall. You can't stop G4. King, rook moves. We're going to take here. We're going to take here. It's done. It's even worse. Can't move, nothing. It's finished. It's absolute. Abasov should be resigning. Now he should be resigning at this stage because he can't play nothing. You can't attack nothing, you can't do nothing. You move this guy, I'm gonna do check. If king g6, it's a rook g5, check. And again, you're going back to defend the bishop, still g4 gonna be pushed forward, and it's finished at this stage. It's really nothing. If this one, you're still gonna be pushing, and whatever the bishop does, you're gonna take with tempo first, then you're gonna take. Again, it's absolutely done. Oh, that's a long stretch. Let's go. That's a long one. What was it? Here. Here. Let's just put the lines now because it's done. Let's just put the lines. Won't matter now. That's it. We just put the lines. What they do? F4. Okay. Let's just put the lines. It's finished. G5. Rook C6 was the mistake. But what else? Rook C1. Rook C1, guys. Rook C1, an old idea that we had. It's actually a desperate attempt. It's nothing, Rook C1. Nothing is nothing here. Nothing is pretty much nothing here for... but Rook C6, I think, was the nail in the coffin. Was the nail in the coffin. It's finished. Yes, absolutely sweet. King H4, as we wanted in the first place. Boom. Boom. And this is it. All right. Fabulous, fabulous. I absolutely thank you. David, I thank you. Pranav. Step, you've been magnificent, but Pranav as well. Guys, the rest of you, I would be more than happy, guys, to be seeing you tomorrow in the tie breaks for everybody. So we're gonna be seeing Prague and Magnus tomorrow, disputing tie breaks, and Abasov and Fabi. Fabulous game. Fantastic. You guys are awesome. So cheers and see you guys tomorrow afternoon. I'd say 12 p.m. UK time. I should be here with you guys streaming. Thanks a bunch.